Hi guys, welcome back to the Encore Club podcast. Don't worry, Josh is here for this episode. He's just not here for the intro. I just thought I'd jump on very quickly and say hi and introduce this one. So today we're joined by Rob and Dan from TPD TV. You may know them for all their kind of festival antics and their wild weekends away and things like that. They are genuinely extremely lovely people, and it was one of those episodes where we had a good laugh and it went on forever just because we're having such a good time. So genuinely love those guys loads. It was incredible, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome back to the Encore Club, and well, this is the podcast where we invite guests on to talk about their dream gig, and today's no different. However, we are joined by amazing guests today. I think this is a big one for us. We've been
excited, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, and so we're joined by Rob and Dan from TPD TV. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you for
You're
having
too
us.
kind, you two. You're too kind.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule, because you're pretty much everywhere these days. I mean, we're trying to arrange this, and I think Rob was like, "Yeah, we're off to Coachella, so I don't have the time to do that." And so thank you so much. I appreciate it.
He's getting to go Coachella, not me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You could have had Dan on his own.
Sorry. Is that a sore subject for you, Dan? Sorry, mate.
No. I've got some other trips in year, so it'll be fine.
Good.
He didn't want to go anyway, did he?
Yeah.
No, I've seen it line up.
He's
It's
been
not, it's rubbish.
before.
Done it twice.
Yeah, done it.
So for anyone who's watching who doesn't know anything about TPD TV, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, I mean, the best way I think to describe the guys is the channel as a whole is the UK's kind of best. Well, not even the UK, the world's probably best kind of festival travel based YouTube channel.
I don't see loads of people doing it.
I feel like you guys have landed on like a pretty amazing thing that you get to do, where you kind of just get to go and have these amazing kind of experiences with your mates, and obviously film it, which is a little bit work on the side, but also it's something that we've tried to do to a degree.
Life could be worse.
It's definitely worked out pretty well for us. I can't argue. I absolutely love doing it. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Fair play. And you guys also have kind of, over the last 6 months, introduced kind of weekends, wild weekends, or weekends away. That's whether it be abroad or in the UK. I particularly like the Butlins episode.
So did I.
We had such a good
fun.
time, didn't
Yeah. Non-stop laughing.
we? It really was. It's the year of just laughing, and with the Wild Weekend series, it's enabled us to just, because the festivals are great, but obviously they don't run all year, and by creating that new series where we can just do anything on a weekend in particular, so it doesn't use any annual leave. It's just enabled us to just have so much fun on it.
It really has. It's like all the trips that you'd do as a kid, like Butlins, Isle of Man, Benidorm, if your parents like taking you to rubbish places abroad. It's like all those dumb, fun trips, just as adults with your best mates, getting drunk, having a laugh, and just, it's great. I couldn't think about better for off-season.
No, that was living the dream. And Butlins, I think it's a bit of a stigma
gets a
about
bad
Butlins.
rap, but
yeah,
it's a good.
Butlins delivers.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think you have to go to like an adults-only weekend, so that like there's no kids, because that'd do my head in. But
Yeah, that makes sense, to be fair.
I never went to Butlins like as a kid, and I'd kind of prejudged it quite heavily, like what I thought it would be, and I was amazed how good it actually was. Like, and again, it was an adult weekend, I want it, but it was absolutely class, and we're already planning on going to a different Butlins, because I think there's 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
So we're going to another one at the end of the year, and I literally can't wait.
Amazing. Well, I take it that'll be for a video as well. So
Oh yeah, you can't have fun without filming it.
Yeah, we can't do anything without filming it, unfortunately.
And obviously we touched on it a bit, but you do all this with a group of friends. Is this a group of friends that you like? Did you all meet in school? What's the kind of, how did it start? I guess what is the best?
It's a bit of a mix, really. So there's a few who met in primary schools, so they were in a different primary school to ours, but in the same village. And it's like they've then gone to the same high school, so we all met there and became even closer friends. Like I met Robin at summer school before high school.
I don't know why we went to that. But
Absolutely not, because we're nerds.
just needed to get that extra learning in these school holidays.
Just love learning. But some others, it's like Mary, Rob's sister. So we've known her since she was a little kid, and we were little kids. So she just naturally fit in. And then others who've come along the way. So like some we've met in college, others who we've just met at gigs who've come over and said hello, and we've just loved them to bits. And eventually they've become like brothers to us. So it's just like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think pretty much every video you can see, like, I guess the camaraderie of your relationships with each other is there's so much love there for each other and for what you're doing as well. And I think part of what makes TPD TV what it is, like, is
You need that though, don't you?
100%.
Going
Like, if
to
we had no chemistry, this would be a shit podcast.
festivals with people you don't like is just savage.
Yeah. Don't sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Well, when we like the rare time when we go on like what we would call like a press trip, which is where we'd be like, looked after from end to end by a organization, and we do see people, other creators, and they get on with some of the other creators and stuff, but like I just feel we're so lucky because we're just 20-year plus friendships first.
Yeah.
And not to undermine any other relationships out there, but like I do feel really grateful that that's a unique thing that we have that I think not a lot of people do have in the creative industry, especially in the numbers that we do. Like there's 9 of us in the crew, and we're all just best mates, and was just so fortunate. It's such a blessing, really.
I feel bad for the solo creators, like the ones who go on these trips by themselves, and they have to go and make friends. It's like I've brought mine with me.
Yeah,
so
well.
there's no issue. Like, come be my mate. We'll get you drunk.
I feel like the content flows as well when you guys are going as a group, rather than, like you said, a kind of solo creator kind of trying to go and they have to kind of go and force create content creation rather than it just naturally happening with the banter that happens between you and your mates and things like that. So yeah, definitely works. Definitely works.
How did it originally come about?
It was you, wasn't it? So yeah, Rob has loved YouTube since day one, and just bought a little camera and started filming a day in the life and just bits and bobs and just what was generally going on in his life. The rest of us, like, because we all hung out so much, just kind of joined in, and eventually it built up to filming nights out and filming gigs and stuff like that. And it was
just for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nostalgia to watch back in a year's time after a festival and like, look how dumb we were last year. And it grew, and other people started watching it, and it's just grown and grown from there.
You can't beat that though. That's a fairy tale, isn't it?
The thing that I really like about it is it's like, because we did it for us first and foremost, like, we were doing this when being a YouTuber wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
It was, people had YouTube channels, but there was, it wasn't monetized back then. And so we couldn't lose because we were only going in just for doing it ourselves. And if all we ended up having now was those videos from 2007 to look back on, that would still be a win.
Yeah.
Because that's why we started doing it. And then it just so happened by accident, some people started watching them.
Nice.
Was there a turning point when it went from filming, nights out and it was for the boys and it was just for you guys? When did it pivot into, all right, this is gaining some traction, we can do this all the time?
Well, we're in differing opinions on this.
This is nonsense.
It's when I came back from the Air Force and I came back onto the channel full time and was in every video and was doing everything, and obviously this face attracted the people. Rob would say otherwise, but he's lying.
We'll let him have it. We'll let him have it.
because it's true.
What would you say is the kind of, I'm not going to say best festival because obviously you do more than festivals, but what's the best, I guess, trip that you guys, or it might be different for both of you, but like what's been your favorite one so far?
It's really tough. That I'd say the best festival, even though it's tiny, probably Beat Herder. Didn't really care about any of the music, but the festival itself had so much to do and so many weird little things going on. Like, it was just really fun. But the best trip is, again, just for me, was snowbombing last year.
Really?
Yeah, I just had a great
Wow.
week, even with like the downsides of me being me. It was like I had the best week.
It was good.
It was
It's
fantastic.
on right now, and we're not there this year, but it looks like they're having a lot of fun on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you?
My trip would probably be Route 66.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, but like
You know what? I might change my mind.
you can't do that, mate. Unfortunately, you've locked it in. It's my turn to speak now.
So unfair.
We did Route 66 in 2019. It was a dream of ours for years. We never thought that it could happen, and we did it. And this was before we were making any proper money off YouTube, so it was all, doing it for the love of wanting to do it, and we really wanted to make a great video.
And we did.
And I like to think we did. Yeah, it did quite well. But just being with you, there's four of us that kind of have the most tenure together, and it was us four, just in an RV for the first time. Right, it was our first time living in a camper van.
Yeah, because we'd only done one big trip before, and that was in a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah. So it was just amazing. It was everything that we could have dreamed of. It was like living in the Cars universe. If people have seen Disney Pixar's Cars.
Life is a Highway was played so many times.
We just had the soundtrack on.
It's such a banger
It really is underrated.
in the
Nice.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a tune. And guys,
Amazing.
do you have to like? There's some shit festivals out there, right? Or there's some festivals out there, and it might not be your cup of tea, but do you have to cover all bases now? Do you have to go to it and you think, oh, the lineup's not great, but we have to go for the channel?
Yeah. It's very rarely like I can't be arsed doing this. Like, very rare. There's maybe 2 or 3 instances. Trying to think of one off the top of my head.
Like, would you go to everyone that I used to hang out with? They always used to go to Wireless, and
I knew you were going to say that.
think worse than Wireless.
So
Is that the one with the 3 Drakes on?
yeah,
this year?
so
Fuck Wireless.
we're doing Wireless this year.
Big up Wireless. by
Yeah,
the way.
well and Wireless.
Love you,
We're-
Wireless.
We're doing Creamfields instead of Leeds Fest, which is huge for us because
Yeah.
I've been going to that since 2009. But like, we can't, like, if it's a festival that like I think is going to be shit, for example, like, and I don't think this about Creamfields, but let's use that as an example. It's not my scene. It's not my type of music. Don't want to prejudge it too hard, but I've seen some of the scenes that go on there, and it really just couldn't be like, it was something I would, in my personal life, couldn't run far enough away from. But could end up being a really funny video if like I'm out of my comfort zone for the full weekend.
They're always the best.
You know,
videos.
they are like, so when it's an event that like we can't wait for and we're super excited for, like a power trip in America with like AC/DC and stuff, which was incredible firsthand. And
Do you think? I felt a bit let down. Like, don't get me wrong, the bands were incredible. Like, the lineup was great.
Now you mention it, actually,
but
we
the
did
actual
have
festival
yeah.
itself, like,
we did have a bit negative to say about it, didn't we? I've just remembered, but I guess something that on paper, that something that like delivers and is fully entertaining for us is less fun for our audience to watch, I think, than something where something goes a bit wrong, we don't like something. So there's a benefit to both sides, really.
And is Creamfields and Leeds the same weekend?
It is, yeah.
it is. Aye.
Just harking back to what Dan said about Beat Herder, my mum loves Beat Herder.
Good on her.
She loves a rave as well. So
Big up, Karen.
big up, Karen. Nice one, mum.
Yes, Karen. We'll see you in the tunnel next year. This year.
She'll love that you've just shouted her out. By the way,
Big up.
that's
Your mum
class.
is pretty wild.
She, yeah, Yeah, love you.
That's cool. I wish like my mum was into something like that. I'm desperate to try and get her to a gig, and she just won't entertain it.
My mum's the exact same. Like, I've asked her, like, who's your favourite artist? Like, we'll go to a gig, and she's like, I don't have one. How can you not have a favourite artist? Like, who raised me?
I feel like there's debates about this, like people that don't have
Yeah, I
favorite.
don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's dead weird.
It's like saying I'm not really into oxygen. Like,
Don't like food.
it's mental, isn't it?
It is
Dead
weird.
weird.
I think there's something wrong with these people. You know.
Absolutely.
just slacking off Dan's mum a little bit there. Can't
No,
we?
Oh no, please do.
I'm here for it
Please
as well.
do.
I'm
I'm
here
used
for
to
it.
it from my mates. It's fine.
If you guys had to choose, let's say, right, you're trying to sell TPD TV to a new potential fan, and they haven't ever seen anything before. Is there one video that you'd kind of push to them as their kind of their starter episode, I guess, to get them hooked?
Maybe Route 66 again. It's an absolute movie, that.
It is a well executed thing as far as we go. I would probably say the Coachella video, our first Coachella video, just because that it's a boring answer, but it's analytically the most likely to draw someone in because that's where we got a significant portion of our audience today. And I think it's a funny video. Again, it's a bunch of like nerdy British pasty lads going to like the most glamorous Instagrammable event that would let us in the door at least.
Yeah, getting sunburnt before we've even arrived.
Literally, yeah. So I think and it's it's a festival, it's a trip. I think it's kind of got everything in there that could satiate a potential viewer.
But for me, to really hold them, to really get them into the core of like what we do and how we are with each other, it'd be Route 66.
It's a 2-step plan.
Yeah. Get them in with Coachella, slap them up with Route 66 Encore. That's it.
Anyone that's watching that hasn't seen any of their stuff after this, go and check out the Coachella video, the first one, and the Route 66 video. Definitely.
There we go.
Yeah, I like it.
Guys, do you think as it's grown, have you had to like tone it down at all?
Have you had to stop getting so fucked on site?
Honestly, no.
If anything, he's worse.
Good.
That's cool.
There is sometimes people will make that connection if there's several episodes in a row where I'm not completely off my head, but there never is. Like any event that wants us at their event, for example, knows what we're like, so they're expecting that. And any event that we haven't organised with and we're just going to as punters, we've got no reputation or anything to, we're not.
There's no relationship.
Yeah, so we're not trying to preserve anything. I think as soon as if we did start doing that, for those reasons of like it's getting a bit bigger, we need to be a bit like more sensible. I think it would just turn the audience off quite a bit.
Removes a bit of relatability, like because
yeah,
that's what everyone does at festivals. They go there with the mates and get absolutely levered in a field.
Yeah.
It's like,
hell yeah.
So show the real side of it, and it attracts people. Hopefully,
I've been in some right pickles
Some pickles.
that I'm glad weren't filmed.
Can I just say about something that I have seen that was filmed?
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I talk about the dog spit?
Probably not.
No.
I'd rather you did.
You've brought it up now.
Yeah, we need to talk about it now.
I've been awake for a long time.
I'm going to talk about it because they've asked.
It wasn't at a festival.
It wasn't at a festival, but there is a video of you off your nut just taking a line of dog spit off of a dog and just...
You are kidding. Oh my God, man.
The thing is, the dog did tell me to at the time.
I'd never drink anything horrendous like that.
I mean, I've watched this man drink a pint of my sick.
Want a pint?
Oh, sorry,
Less than half.
I'm exaggerating, but the dog spit thing's worse, I think.
Yeah, that does feel worse. At least, brothers. That's a dog.
Cheers for that, Will.
I will edit it out if you want me to, but they need to.
No,
They need to know what they're
leave it.
dealing with today. So.
Guys, what's the hardest thing about filming at a festival? And does it feel like work?
It never feels like work. Because most of the stuff we film, it's like either something that looks, or for me at least, it's something that looks pretty. So I really want to capture that and think, wow, I want to put that in a video. And if it gets in, I'm dead happy with myself. And the rest of the time, it's just filming my mates being idiots. So it's like, I find that funny to have on my phone and can bring up at any point that I need.
Yeah, like the dog spit.
Yeah.
Just has this archive of like, you did this.
Yeah.
But like we just don't. It's just automatic, like thoughtless, if that's the right word. Like we just, because we shoot on our phones, so it's as easy as it possibly could be. There's zero barriers in the way, and it's just second nature now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally like there's no better word for it than second nature. Like there's not a thought that goes through your head. It's just something happens, phone out. That's it. Like it's
just an extension of the self, in it at this point.
Yeah, like me and a guitar.
But you can't beat that. You can't knock that. You're living the dream compared to.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean?
We're
happy days.
For the upcoming Coachella trip, which is next week. There's 4 of us going, and it's going to be probably the only slightly challenging filming thing because I film a lot and Danny films a lot, but the people who's going to Coachella, it's kind of only me that contributes a significant amount of footage, and the 3 that I'm going with generally don't. They're more like on camera personality and not so much like behind the camera.
Yeah.
So that might be the only time where it does prove to be a challenge, and I might have to be a bit annoying and start nagging them. But they're used to that, to be fair. So
What are you on about? You've never done that before.
it needs to be done though if we want the end result.
It does.
So that's the only time. So I'll if we do this again, I'll let you know if that was a challenge.
Amazing. Well, I think we should probably move into some. I mean, we've definitely broken the ice a little bit after telling you. Sorry about that, mate.
That's the worst. It's honestly one of the worst fucking stories I've heard. That.
Hang on. What kind of dog was it? What breed?
That don't matter.
It does. It definitely
Why
does.
does that matter?
Because if it's like a little chihuahua, it's not as bad as like a big dirty bulldog.
I'll be honest, it was fucking huge.
A big dog.
Right? It was like
Great Dane.
You know those ones where it's like their mouth's just falling apart?
Yeah.
A boxer.
Like a Rottweiler
I
kind
don't
of
know
thing.
what it was.
Right.
I'll send it to you later.
Cool.
I can't believe you got off with a dog and didn't find out what breed it was.
Ask questions later, eh?
He never even called me back, the little fucker.
I've been there.
Yeah, how did that come up? Like, what the fuck, man?
Sorry, man.
That's savage. I've got dirt on you as well, so
We'll save that for the second half.
Yeah.
will do.
I've dropped myself right in it here for
Yeah,
later.
you have.
Right, so let's
Let's break some more
break
ice.
some more ice. This is probably a little bit easier than drinking pints of sick and eating dog spit.
I'll do it again.
They want even a full. They want even half a pint.
Typical, I can't finish a pint.
So what's the kind of exact moment for each of you that like made you, I guess, fall in love with going to festivals? And like, yeah, what was there? Fuck that question. What was your first gig? Like, that's gonna be it, isn't it? Realistically, like, what got you into going to see live music, basically?
Do you want to go first, or
There's a real. It's not my first gig, but it's definitely a better answer because the first gigs I went to were just like circumstantial. Like something was on in Leeds for free. They used to do this thing called Party in the Park. It was done by the radio station, and it was, like big talent in like mainstream pop that would play, and it was free. But that didn't really count because that was just a free day out. One of the most important ones for me early on was going to see the Foo Fighters at Milton Keynes in 2011. That was the first like big thing that I'd done where it involved like traveling what at the time felt like quite far away, seeing a AAA size band in a massive open air arena, being excited. It was all just like I'd been to Leeds Fest and stuff a couple of times, but it was just like for the festival, not so much for the lineup. It was just for the vibe. But going to see the Foo Fighters in 2011 with Biffy supporting, and I think Jimmy Eat World under them was it was just class. It was probably the first time I was like actively excited for a gig, and I think that's probably when I got hooked.
Nice.
Yeah. I was a late bloomer to the music world. I obviously done Party in the Park when I was a little kid. Then my dad, I think I was 14, 15, took us to a Kaiser Chiefs concert in, where was it?
Ellen Road.
Ellen Road, that's the one. didn't care about Kaiser Chiefs. My dad just wanted to get pissed and took me with him.
It was his weekend, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
For fuck's sake.
And then it was nothing until I was 24. Finally moved back to Leeds, and I went to a Don Broco gig. So music just dropped off for me until 24 years old, and moved in with Rob, and that was it. Like, we listened to music all the time. Don Broco were just fully on my radar from the Leeds Fest before, and we went to a back-to-back gig where they played the first album the first night, second album second night.
Oh, that was great.
And it was incredible. It was in Key Club, which is a tiny little venue near us, and it was just fantastic. It got me hooked, and that's it. I haven't looked back since.
Nice.
We have a bit of a story about Ricky Wilson. Do you remember that? Kaiser Chiefs?
Yeah, he was a...
So we used to do festival photography, and we were backstage, and Kaiser Chiefs were about there headlining the festival.
Wasn't he crying?
He was having a joint and having a cry, and his manager was like hugging him.
I wonder what was wrong.
I've been there, poor lad.
He
A joint and a cry. We've all been there.
But then all the security, like, they were all told to hide under the stage during the performance, and
Or he was
Ricky,
gonna leave.
he was going to kick them in the head.
Oh yeah,
He was going to kick them in the head if they popped out from under the stage. So
Why?
Just because he didn't want them essentially getting in the way, even though obviously it's at like head height for the security of the stage, because it's like a proper festival
He was
stage.
just a proper diva, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
That's so weird.
He doesn't strike me as the type, you know. That's surprising. I thought he'd be because he's from our end. I've always seen him as a bit of. I mean, I don't have any care about the Kaiser Chiefs either, but I always thought he'd be like a kind of like a working class, down to earth kind of guy. But
Depends where in our ends, though, don't it? Could live near Ben and be.
that's true. He
middle
could be in
class.
the affluent bit.
I think it's post his X Factor days. To be fair, he's probably.
Oh, I forgot he was on the fucking X Factor.
Was he?
Or was it the Voice?
The,
It was The Voice,
the
yeah,
turning
so, yeah.
chair.
Yeah.
But he was a right prick.
Well, fuck
Oh, he
him.
was in the chair, not the one on stage singing.
Yeah, he was a judge.
Oh, right. I thought he like.
That's where they started on the Voice.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I'll be class. I'll let you ask the next one.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
very kind of you.
Sorry,
Mark.
I've been talking a lot. Dropping you in shit.
Anything off the top of your head? Any mega ridiculous things that you've ever seen in the crowd at a festival?
Oh God. In the crowd, the biggest thing I've seen happen in a crowd is at a Leeds Fest where they were filming for the movie The Festival, and they were filming the crowd, and they got the entire crowd to jump to the left and jump to the right and do like things for the camera, and that was like full crowd participation. And I've never seen that many people all do the same thing at once, so that was quite cool. But other than that, like,
Saw one of our acquaintances just start drinking another one of our mates' piss straight from the source,
From the source.
like direct to
Yeah.
consumer. Like it was catching it mid air.
like
But
drinking a beer from tap.
yeah, these are some people that we went to high school with, and we're not close with them. We weren't then. We're not now. Just in case any of our audience is trying to figure out like who it was, you won't know them.
I can't remember it.
But yeah, it was just like they were just absolutely spangled and just started just doing that. It was middle of the day, sunny, and I'll never forget. We were watching a band on the main stage, and they just started doing that, and then like both like laughing and like it's just
some boys.
that's
you know?
always the thing that comes to mind.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's pretty big. I'd be laughing if I was supplying from the source, but was he laughing like, you know?
Yeah, it was like both of them just like laughing. It was like, and I mean, it was funny, so fair enough.
It's only a bit of piss. Like, it's not it's not dog spit, is it?
It could be worse.
I don't mind it at a festival. You know, you get pints of piss thrown about,
Oh, I hate that.
but when you get towards the end of the night and you've had a skinful, and you know, you just don't care about the piss anymore. That's the best.
I still care about the piss.
Yeah, I still don't want to be hit by piss.
The source.
I don't care. I don't mind my own piss, but someone else's.
If someone's hitting me with their like fucking yellow beer piss, I'm livid.
Nah, just
Yeah.
fucking chuck the piss in the end.
Do you know? I've honestly never seen it.
Have you not? It happened to me. First time I went to Leeds Festival, Piccadilly. Someone did it in a can and launched the can, and it hit me in back of head. And at first I thought it was just a beer, and then I could smell it. And they were really strong. They were awful.
Have you seen that video of that singer, and someone launches a beer can at him, and he catches it and then necks it? Or something?
Oh yeah, dangerous game. That.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what if that was piss? Like, is he having
It-
to like
I wish
firm
it
it and
was
just
for
be
the
like,
video.
yeah, fucking yeah, like that'd be fun.
It's like a pint glass.
It's
isn't
a
it?
fair
Plastic-
effort. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
well. Fair play.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, guys, have you ever woken up in someone else's tent and had no idea how you got there?
I don't
No,
think I have, no.
I'm pretty well behaved in that sense.
Some used to refer to me as the navigation genius. So it's like even when I'm drunk, I could find my way home. So
Festival
never happened
We
to
all
me. though.
need one of those as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost deliberately stayed in a tent that wasn't mine, and this could have been really bad news. But I was at Kendall Calling, and it was only like maybe 2 years ago, and I get lost really easily at Kendall Calling. I don't know why. It's not particularly it's complex, but
It's not at all.
but I just because we have like as you guys will if you're shooting the festivals, you know, you'll have that slightly better access. So I'll go down like an alleyway or passage or, you know, kind of guarded. I can't think what I'm about to say. Like a checkpoint almost, and I'll just end up like stuck somewhere where like I can't get out. And that happened to me at Kendall, and I was so hammered, and I was in like the glamping bit, which I wasn't staying in, but I was in the glamping campsite. And I couldn't get out, and I'd walked one way, I couldn't get out that way, I'd walked the other way. And I was going to just stay in one of these tents because my drunk mind was like, these never sell out. There'll be one of these that doesn't have someone in it. And I got as close as to like walking up to a tent that at least I thought was likely vacant. And at that moment, I had the, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of thing. Like, this could be the absolutely terrible decision for so many reasons to do this.
Could have been a school trip there.
Yeah, to Kendall Calling. And then I ended up climbing over a fence and to get back to our van where we were sleeping. And it was just one of those where thankfully the sensible me was still in there somewhere and talked some sense in.
Is there one of you that always gets lost? Out of my group that I go to festival, you know, close group of friends from over the years, there's one that is always just, he's lost from the minute you get there. Or are you like quite tight knit? Do you stay together the whole time?
We
We're
do
usually
spend most of
quite
the
good,
time,
yeah.
don't we?
I'm probably the most likely to wander off, but I'm very good at finding them as well.
Mary's, my sister Mary, who's a big part of our crew, people always love when she wanders off because she'll just get leathered, and all she just wants then is just food and bed.
Usually a big burger.
Yeah, like whatever the most disgusting food she can find is, one of those, please. So she just goes, and I'll end up with, because I do the editing, so I've got all the footage at the end of it, and I'll end up with like 15-minute clips of just Mary, just one eye looking at the phone, one eye looking at the burger, just meandering through the darkness of a festival site.
She's so funny when she gets that she starts talking. You can't understand her.
It's like a different language.
Like,
Isn't it?
like it's just utter noise.
Legend.
She's a good one.
Love her to bits. Wouldn't change her for the world.
That's class. When you went to, just on a side thing, like when you went to Kendall Calling, was the Chai Waller's tent still there?
I don't even know what that is.
No, it's like a separate stage, like stretch tent.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's where my tooth fell out in there.
Oh God,
Yeah,
memories, memories.
good memories. Not my tooth, my filling.
Either way, it's still weird.
My filling fell out. Yeah, it's still there, mate. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
A tooth would be worse.
that's the company that I worked for. So I put it up 1 year. Like,
It was beautifully erected. I did notice it looked like real
I wasn't
solid.
there for that one, but I'll take.
I was quite.
He's very good at noticing a good solid erection, is this lad.
Well, I'll ask the owner if he's found your filling yet.
No, I picked it up. I've still got it.
Okay, nice.
Put it back in.
Back in. People down south don't do that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They're not. They need to grow up.
You need to grow up.
Yeah. I guess a bit of a wholesome question now for
Topic
both of you.
change.
Yeah, a slight topic change, and this doesn't have to be like someone famous or anything like that. This is just kind of personal to you both. But who is your biggest heroes in life?
Oh, I've never actually thought about that before. Someone who means the absolute world to me, probably Orville Peck. It's just his music. Like at a time in my life, it just meant everything. It's like I felt like his story that he kept releasing album after album just matched my story entirely. And it's like I've never wept more to a person in my life than Orville Peck. So like I'd say, I don't know if the term hero would be used, but he's definitely like one of the people who matter the most to me in the world.
Cool.
I love that.
Good
We normally
answer.
get mums. So
We've had a
that's
lot
a good
of
one.
I do love my mum as well.
It's just a given that, innit? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
she's more than a hero, so I can't say
that's
that.
fair enough. That's fair enough. What about you, Rob?
My hero, inspiration, all that is Simon from Biffy Clyro, Simon Neil. I truly idolise him and have done for as long as I've known about that band's existence. Amazing guitarist and inspires me significantly with the guitar. I've been lucky enough to meet him a few times, and he's made me want to be a better person when I meet people, because he was so warm and welcoming and put me at ease straight away, even though I was very nervous. And then, as part of the Biffy collective, some of the best memories I've got is seeing that band. Friendships that I've forged through knowing that band. He is just the one. It's no contest for me.
That's cool.
Love that.
Love Biffy as well.
Yeah, Biffy is sick, man.
Big up.
Top class. Seeing him next month actually, and at Radio 1's big weekend, and I keep forgetting, and then I'll remember, and I'll be like, oh, get in.
Amazing.
Are they your favourite band?
Yeah, I have like a rotating like top 5, but Biffy's always the number one spot.
Nice.
Love that.
Nice.
You like a bit of Biffy as well.
I
don't you?
love Biffy,
You
mate.
can't knock
So good, so underrated. I think I'm obviously biased, but they're obviously a big band, but I never really meet anyone that like loves Biffy
Yeah.
unless I'm at like a Biffy, like organically. I don't meet people who are big Biffy Clyro fans, and when I do, it's like a real novelty for me, because we meet, everyone loves Bring Me the Horizon and stuff, and but like I never really meet anyone that's like proper into Biffy, so it's kind of got that small band energy in my head, and I don't see them as the big, huge band that they actually are.
I went to a really amazing like little acoustic event they did in Kingston a fair few years back, and I just remember them playing Medicine, and it was just so beautiful, and it was just like, fuck, this is insane, this tiny venue.
I bet that's lovely.
With Banquet Records. Yeah, it was yeah,
And they're
sick.
3-piece as well, aren't they?
They are
Like some sound from a 3-piece, and they're Scottish, aren't
they are Scottish. Yeah,
they? Yeah, big up.
Yeah, they are. They like, I have such a deep love for Scotland, and a lot of that will be influenced by that band. Like I go to Scotland all the time. I've got some great friends up in Scotland, but like my initial interest with Scotland will have come from that band, and now that's one of my favorite places. So it's just interwoven so deeply into like my DNA at this point.
Yeah.
Is Biffy, and it's and Biffy's music and Simon's songwriting, because he's the songwriter, and it's just nothing comes close to me on a like emotional and personal level, at least.
Have you done festivals in Scotland?
So sadly we were too late to the party to ever do Tea in the Park, which is like the one.
Yeah.
But we've done Transmit a few times, and
I think that's the only one, isn't it?
there's like Belladrum, and there's
It's big
like,
weekend, Dundee.
yeah, I mean that's just one, but Transmit is the one now. It's great energy, man. I just thrive being up in Glasgow. I love the energy. Everyone around there's an equal mix of insane in a nice way and just really nice, and it's class,
Yeah, specifically Glasgow. It's like one of the best places in the UK to go for gigs. Like
Gigs,
the
food,
energy you get from
nightlife.
everybody.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Glasgow's the one. Love Glasgow.
All my family from Glasgow, and whenever we've gone to gigs up there, I just feel like it's so much better.
the bands know it as well. Like,
yeah, but the energy from the crowd, it's just the night in general is just an absolute dream. The people,
Because everyone's on Buckfast.
yeah, that's probably it.
Love
That's
that.
probably it.
Is that what you saw, Robbie Williams?
I've seen Robbie Williams, and
Outland.
I was fuming because I had a ticket for the Scotland-France game when Scotland beat France, and my mum dragged me to Robbie Williams, but it was fucking sick.
he's amazing, man.
I've never seen him. I'd
God.
love to.
I was drugged in the pub, and it was just,
Yeah.
it was so good.
How old were you?
Yeah, I must have been. I was underage in the pub for sure, maybe 16, 17. But the energy up there is just, it's different gravy, I think.
It really is. If there's, well, that's why we go up there so often. Like, if for people who don't live in Scotland, we go to a lot of gigs in Scotland. Just, and there's some other reasons as to why, like, our friends up there and stuff. But like, if we jump at the chance, like me and Mary just went to see Sabrina Carpenter. Like, she's doing like 4 arenas, but we chose to go to the furthest away one, which is Scotland, just because it's just such a great vibe.
Yeah,
Love that,
yeah, you can't beat it. I need to drag you up there.
mate. 100%.
Get on it.
Yeah.
We want to play a quick game with you guys, and this is kind of dependent on whether you have access to your phones and if you use Spotify to listen to your music.
Oh, we use Apple Music.
That's fine. That's fine. Essentially, what we're gonna do, we'll call it Apple Music Roulette rather than Spotify Roulette. Um,
Music streaming roulette.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all inclusive then.
there you go. Not leaving anyone out there. So yeah, the idea is you just go into your liked playlist or whatever and hit shuffle. We want 3 songs. Obviously, don't play them, just copyright reasons and things. But just let us know what those 3 songs are, and just also to let you know, and we do this with every episode. Every song that is mentioned throughout this episode, we build a playlist, and we release the playlist with the episode.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
sick.
That's a great idea. So full library shuffle, yeah.
Full
Oh, is that what we're doing? Full library? Oh, well, there's some absolute rubbish in mine.
That's funnier though, isn't it? If it's full library.
Exactly why we're doing it. Yeah.
Songs.
Right, I'll go first. First song, Sounds Like Balloons by Biffy Clyro from their 2013 album Opposites. Great song. Stand by it.
For
Listen to
me.
it often.
Mr. Mathers, The Skit by Eminem.
Amazing. Okay.
Both good tunes.
Right.
Oh no, it's really fucked me with this one. The song Punani by American rapper 6ix9ine.
Amazing. Perfect.
Oh, 6 oh yeah, okay.
God, he was atrocious, that lad.
Me and Chocky in the lockdown almost bought his merch
Nah,
as a joke.
you can't put money in his pocket.
Well, we didn't, thank fuck, because when it, yeah.
The next one for me is My World by Avril Lavigne. So I can't go wrong with that. I love a bit of Avril.
love a bit
I
of
saw her at
Avril.
Glastonbury last year, and it was fucking sick.
She's
Great.
cool,
And she, where did we see? Was it
Mad
Mad,
Cool.
cool? Yeah,
Sorry, Madrid.
fantastic.
Nice.
My next one is a pretty boring one, unremarkable.
Probably it's from your library.
Thank you. Brainstorm by the Arctic Monkeys.
Fair.
Nice.
Yeah, when I say boring, I mean it's just like anyone could have guessed that would be in my library because
Yeah,
it's great.
true.
It's unanimously loved.
Oh God! And my last one is Rage Quit by Scarlord. I don't even know when I've listened to that.
I don't know what that is.
That's like
Scarlord,
really
it's-
shouty rap type.
Yeah, just metal rap, proper screamy stuff.
I did this. So I started this podcast 4 years ago and did 2 episodes, and then decided I wanted to make it bigger than it was. So my first episode was Wheatus, and the second episode was the lead singer of there's some shit rap metal band, and he chose Scarlord anyway as his
Who was
Oh,
the
really?
I have listened to Scarlord before. He's pretty good. I just don't recognise that song whatsoever.
no Hacktivist was the band.
Fair.
Activist, yeah, they had a good song.
Yeah, are you sure about that?
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Something Throne.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that regularly.
It was a good song, but it's so unremarkable you couldn't even remember the fucking name.
Look, it was a long time ago. Can't remember everything, can I?
Well, that was music.
Does anyone ever spin this on you? Does
Yeah.
anyone ever make you guys do this?
No one's tried to yet. But the thing is, my phone is what you're watching us on.
I thought it
I'm
might be.
I'm out of the game here, but
The thing is, though, like
Yours isn't.
No, like, I've got some random shit, but like, like I like heavy stuff. I like everything, and I know it's such a cliche, but I do like everything. But we're more heavy than not, you know, like in the upwards, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I probably exist more in the kind of emo realm than anything, but then also have things like, I mean, last week we were talking to someone about fuck it by Eamon. Like, fuck, well, that's
Great song. And Frankie with a response. Remember that?
You know what
exactly
I mean?
what we chatted
Her
about.
coming back.
Yeah.
like,
That was some real, like,
right back. That was
obviously, like, calculated, prearranged record label stuff. But as a kid, when that came out in 2004, I want to say,
yeah. Because I got dumped in year 9, and I had that on, like relating to it. Like,
yeah, it don't mean shit now.
yeah. Like,
Fuck
yeah.
you right back.
Yeah, man.
So good.
Yeah, it's a big tune.
Class.
We need a modern version of that.
We did, do you know what?
100%.
I might do it.
Come on.
Yeah, go on.
I
Get
might
it
do
done.
I might do it. So yeah, mine is a mixed bag. But then, like, my missus will come home sometimes. I don't know why I'm saying this, but like, I fucking love the Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune. That sounds
it's
fucking
those
weird.
goths
Now
dancing to it though, isn't it? Like,
Do you know it's a really nice theme tune? To be fair, like it kind of slaps.
we've
It
done a
fucking
video
does.
of me dancing to it, haven't we? That was one of our first kind of shorts that we put up.
Yeah, maybe I'm moment, but that is like, I'll have that on. Not a lot. I'm just sounding so weird.
Just on repeat for a few hours.
For you though, like,
No, they've never seen it.
okay, cool.
I've seen a lot of like mashups with it where they've put like a Notorious B.I.G. like vocal over it or 50 Cent vocal over it, and
We live for that.
it lends itself really well to rap.
Oh, it goes hard.
We've made a few.
Yeah, we have.
So
It's all coming out now, isn't it?
Are you gonna?
like a few years ago we did like we had this YouTube channel, and it was like nursery rhymes.
You say a few years ago. It's still going.
sound
We don't do
like
anything with it,
longings.
but we've just
It
hit.
ticks over.
We've just hit what
I got
two
the
million
email.
700,000 views.
Yeah.
So
Blimey.
it's doing all right, but makes no money because it's for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So
We'd make these backing tracks, and it's all like, you know, all this kid shit.
Mhm.
And
nursery
then
rhymes. Yeah.
we'd get bored, and then we'd throw rap over it. Like we'd, you know,
Take
get Nas
Tupac,
over it.
yeah.
You got to send us
Sounds
the
quite
link
good.
to this channel when we're done.
Definitely, yeah.
We never posted those on the kids one, obviously, because that would be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be.
Kids love a bit of big
Can
into
you
it.
imagine, like
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg like rapping over like Three Blind Mice.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
And it would be Snoop as well.
Right, boys, at this stage, and I bet you've got one, some people struggle with this, but I think you've mentioned one already. But we like to give a shout out to an independent venue of your choice because they're dying
Struggling a little bit.
They're
Yeah.
struggling, and a lot are going under. And
So we just like to give a bit of recognition to venues that aren't, you know, part of huge companies and yeah. So we want you guys basically to pick an independent venue just to give it a shout out.
There's a really famous like underground type venue in Leeds called Temple of Boom, which literally just closed.
Let's give them a shout out. Bring them back.
But they're reopening like a new one,
Nice.
and it's super important venue for like a lot of like hardcore type music. And while that's not my cup of tea, it was sad to see it closing down. So Boom 2 is due to open at some point in the next year. So I'll give them a shout out, and I will go and see some stuff there when it opens because it was sad that they had to close the original one down.
See, my brain initially went to Key Club. Obviously, it's local, it's tiny little place, but it's run by Slam Dunk, so it's a fairly big company running it.
Yeah.
So my second choice is going to be Star and Garter
Oh,
in Manchester. It's a tiny little old pub. You go upstairs into this decrepit room, and I think it might have been done out a little bit now. But we saw a band called Mathematics in there years ago, and it's just such fond memories of such a tiny little dive. And I don't know how they're doing, if they're still going.
yeah, they are. It's quite a It's quite a well-known little venue. Like Bring Me came through there in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, and it is a tiny little dive in it. But I'd love to go back. We were going to go back, weren't we, for something, but we didn't bother.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name now.
But it's just a little pub. But
now I think about it, now you're saying like we can do ones that we think bring it back, like boom, Cockpit, bring Cockpit back. Let's do that one.
that did close over
I've
15
given you
years
3.
ago.
You only
Though.
asked for one.
They are. That's huge shout outs all across the
Love
board.
that.
Are you guys by any chance doing Slam Dunk this year?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. We're doing the north one.
Are we not doing South?
No, we're not going down to south.
We're at the south.
That's the same day as we're doing we normally do Slam Dunk North and South, but there's just not enough mileage in it for us as creators. So we're doing a day at Neighbourhood Festival in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
And then the day before that, it's the Radio 1 Big Weekend with Biffy. So it's like 3 days, 3 different festivals.
Unreal.
That's pretty cool.
Should be good fun.
Love that.
There's a band there called South Arcade, and they're playing
Oh,
Leeds, and then they're going straight from Leeds onto Big Weekend to play their set there. So they're doing it all
Aren't
in
they
one
coming
day.
on?
I like South Arcade. Very good.
South Arcade were meant to come on, and unfortunately their schedule got just completely tied up, and then they're on tour with like Bill Murray or something like that. And so I've been talking to their publicist, and we're trying to sort it out. But we're trying to sort out an interview at Slam Dunk with them as well, because I love them. I think they're sick.
I love
Yeah, they're
Slam
great.
Dunk, man. The emo festivals compared to like your wirelesses and stuff. You know, people are so nice, aren't they?
They are.
At the emo festival. Do you remember my back was fucked? We went to Slam Dunk. Was it last
That
year?
guy that just came up to us. Is that what you're gonna?
Yeah.
But he was off his nut.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, not him.
No.
He scared me. I have nightmares.
We
about
ditched him. So this guy basically, his back was so fucked that we literally every 2 minutes of walking, we would sit down for an hour, and he would just lay on the floor screaming in pain.
Right. Sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah.
Could have put him on stage with other bands.
Yeah. And
That
this
was
guy
crazy.
had lost his group, and he just came up to us and sat with us and just was chatting so much shit at us. And it was like, come and watch this band with us. So he's hobbling over there. And then we said to each other, was like, he's going into the mosh pit. Shall we?
It was the
fuck off?"
slowest getaway I've
yeah,
ever done.
You won't see us. Like, we're just like
Dragging my legs
really
out
slow. Just seeing him in the background, like,
The tactical evasion.
Could
Yeah.
have given him a piggyback.
But big up Slam.
Yeah,
Everyone was
I
so
should-
nice. People were like, oh, do you want some sun cream? Do you want some paracetamol? And I was like, oh, I love you, emos.
Yeah, it's a good vibe in it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, very friendly.
I think we should set the scene.
we should probably get into the main reason why you're here, which is to build your dream gig. So yeah, let's set the scene a bit. So I guess moving on from independent venues, we're going to talk about what your venue of choice is for your dream gig. So I take it we're doing it separately. Yeah, you're not building a dream gig together. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So Rob, let's start with you. What's your dream gig venue for this event?
So I wanted to ground my choices for this whole thing in a bit of realism.
Nice.
And I know there's some amazing venues out there. But I was just thinking, what's probably the best venue that I've actually been to? So I know what to expect. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's
Good choice.
it's gonna. I know there's like Red Rocks and stuff, like, you know, amazing venues. So it might seem quite uninspired, but again, grounded in realism. And mine's gonna be the what's it called? It's the stadium that we saw Metallica in last year.
Oh,
It's a massive stadium in
Yeah.
Madrid,
big round one.
and I guess it could be interchangeable with many other stadiums, but it had a great view from anywhere that you were. And it's basically, it might seem kind of uninspired, but it's a giant stadium, which is the best way. But it does have one of the features that blew me away of this stadium was a Taco Bell employee walking around selling burritos, and we could not believe our fucking eyes, could we?
Honestly, I've never been so happy about seeing a Taco Bell sign in my life.
Oh, it was, and it really, it's the simple things in life, boys. And if I'm watching a band, and you know, in Europe, you often do get, like, at festivals, people walking around with a beer machine on their back, and they can pour you beer like in the moment without you having to break the immersion and go to the bar, and you pay them there. And then we've seen it with crisps in Spain, like people walking around selling crisps, and seeing this burrito was really the deal sealer for me picking this venue.
It's very limited choice. It's like they only have the one burrito. Like, they don't
I mean,
have,
it's just one dude.
yeah,
mate.
they don't have like you can't go through a menu and pick what you want. But honestly, the best burrito I've ever had in my life.
But there is
Probably.
I thought that at Benicassim as well. There's people coming around with bits and bobs.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
You know, we're missing a trick in the UK.
we really are, and I don't know if it's like a. I've tried to think why we don't do it. Is
Yeah,
it like
a
a
legality thing?
hygiene rating thing? Do you need to?
Get robbed.
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Is mints
Just get
robbed.
pelted with like cans of piss, so
Yeah.
it just infects all the food.
Dog dribble.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find out what the actual name of this bloody stadium is, because I've still not. Civitas Civitas Metropolitano Stadium. It's the big Madrid stadium. It's the what? It's a football team. Stadium.
Madrid?
Maybe Real Madrid.
Not the Bernabeu.
No.
I don't.
It's a
remember
new
being-
one. It was only built in like the last few years. Like, yeah, it's Atletico Madrid's stadium.
Oh, nice.
Decent.
Okay.
That is good. And burritos on the way round.
Mate.
Happy days.
Did he have a big
Imagine
like
that.
Taco Bell sign above it?
Yeah,
Bag.
and a big bag, like warmed bag with fresh.
He must have been so hot because they're in Spain already, where it's red hot. You're at a gig where there's loads of people giving off body heat, and then he's got a big bag of burritos, like piping hot burritos on back.
Do you prefer gigs abroad, would you say? It's got a different feel to it, I think.
I don't know. It depends which abroad. Like America, I feel like their crowds are a bit
boring, aren't
iffy.
they?
They can be either too boring or too much.
Right.
Like they don't have an in between. They don't have the right level. But then you find some bands in the UK, like they bring an awful crowd, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, so true.
I'd argue the UK is the best. It's
Yeah.
got the right level, but I think that's because I've grown up with it
Fair.
from
What about
24.
the festival where everyone got crushed.
Which one?
Was it Travis Scott?
Travis Scott's
Astro World.
Astro World, yeah. And it was like everyone was saying it was a portal to hell or something. Or was that just what?
Save that for the
websites I go
conspiracy
on?
episode, mate.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
maybe.
because he told
Fuck
people
that guy,
to jump
man.
over the
Fuck
fence,
that
didn't he?
guy.
Like if you don't want to pay, just jump over and come join in. And
Yeah.
like,
I
just
hate him, and he
probably hates
barely
himself.
had any accountability for that, and it blows my mind that people still book him.
It is.
And he's at Coachella, and I know that Mary's going to really want to go and see him, and I will not entertain it for a second.
Throw
And he's
piss.
headlining Leeds as well. I'm amazed
I
that
couldn't
they.
care less.
Oh, I really could. I really
No, I mean about watching him or about what he's done.
talentless,
Like, don't
completely
bother me.
talentless.
So
Fucking.
I feel that way with a lot of hip hop artists.
You know, I've seen Travis Scott a couple of times,
And
and
Leeds Fest.
yeah, he did headline Leeds Fest, and Melvin Ben, the director of Festival Republic, who runs Leeds Fest amongst a ton of other events, he told us that Travis Scott's one of the best live acts he's ever seen.
He referred
And-
to him as a rock star.
Yeah, and
he's got that old school rock star vibe where they don't care.
And
like,
the crowd was amazing, and I was just stood there, and I'm a big hip hop head, I would say. I listen to probably more rap than anything else, in terms of artists, and I just didn't understand it, and that was before the
controversy.
yeah, if you could even call that a controversy, but that was before that. But fuck him.
See, I went up front with Mary. I'm pretty sure, like
Yeah.
and had a good time. Like didn't know, like Tom didn't know a single song by him, but because I'm with my mate and Mary absolutely loved him, it's like I had a good time. I feed off other people's energy, and he gave a lot and he got a lot. But you know, he's a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
Dan, what's your venue, mate?
See, I'm gonna be realistic about mine. I'm not gonna.
Mine was realistic. We literally went to the fucking venue and saw a band.
Oh well, I don't know why I said that then, because I meant unrealistic because of, and it's not because of the venue. It's because of who's playing it. But my venue would be close to home. It'd be a tiny venue where the bar's right next to the stage. It's the Key
Is it
Club.
the Key Club? Yeah.
I just love Key Club.
Contrasting kind of venue choice, which I love, by the way. For an episode where we've got two people on, it's really good to have the kind of the complete polar opposites of what's.
I don't need all those bells and whistles of a big,
Mate.
the big burrito man in his fancy
Listen,
stadium.
I love the Key Club. I was there last night. The Key Club is part of our culture at this point. Can't think of any way I'd want to see a gig less than in the Key Club.
But there's a reason for it with mine. Once we get into artists,
And I've been to a lot of gigs in the Key Club.
not a gig like mine.
God, it's not. It's clearly a room that wasn't purpose built for live music. Put it that way.
No, it won't at all.
All right, and who? Maybe this is a silly question because you're doing it, but who are you going with to your dream gig?
Probably Rob.
That's why I have to go to the Key Club anyway.
It would just be the group. Like there's no one else I'd rather take.
I thought
Yes,
you that. Then there was the awkward silence, and I thought, "Fuck, he's not going to."
Little side eye from Rob, like, am I picking?
Yeah, you better.
I don't want to go to the gig in the Key Club, but
You
I've
will
been
once
roped in now.
Well, you might do once you hear about lineup. In
Okay, yeah, cool.
fact, I might lose you halfway.
But it is like those kind of days where it doesn't happen often, but where we'll go to like a big show and it's not something we're filming, like going to see the Foo Fighters that I mentioned earlier, or like we're all going to go down and see Post Malone in November in London at Stadium, and it's such a great vibe where we can get like 6 or 7 of us interested and game, and even though it's not, it's easy to get people up for stuff when everything's like a business expense, but like when it's not, it's harder, understandably, because funds are tight. But
Especially
like
for a Post Malone.
but
gig.
when everyone's
Well
kind of
expensive.
aligned with like, yeah, we're gonna go down, we're gonna stay in London in this Post Malone example, it's a great vibe, like that kind of day trip out.
Yeah.
Totally no work at all, just have a great time. So that's the kind of vibe that I would be looking for.
Yeah, agreed.
Nice. And when you're there, like, let's say you've just got through the door. What's your kind of first port of call? Are you going to get drinks? Are you looking at merch? I don't think anyone looks at merch these days. Are you guys?
I
go have a look at the merch.
I love looking at the merch. Yeah, I always do.
do you
Just
buy
see how overpriced it all is.
No, I
Exactly.
can never afford the fucking merch.
It is steep, innit?
I saw Bowling for Soup recently, and they were charging £75 for a hoodie. I was just like,
Jeez.
what the fuck's
Well,
going
you're going to be dead happy at my gig. Not because of Bowling for Soup, but you're going to be happy at my gig.
The whenever I like to support a band I'm going to see, right? And if I've got like a guest list to a show, I like to grab some merch, as a way of, I didn't pay for this ticket, so here's some money into the machine.
Yeah.
I like that.
Went to a gig in January, a band I really like, was lucky enough to get put on the guest list, and I'd committed mentally to buying the t-shirt. T-shirt cost more than the fucking ticket would have cost me. Should have just bought I did buy the t-shirt, it's a nice shirt, but should have just bought the ticket.
Fair.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When in America, it's mental, because the merch culture over there is just so different. It's almost like a hype brand doing a limited drop, and people are desperate to get it. So like when we first went to Coachella, we queued for at least 2 hours.
God, an obscene queue that in the
Oh.
blistering heat.
Yeah, merch. It's insane. They just lap it up, mate. Anything limited edition,
Yeah.
anything that shouts like I've been to this place. Went to something called Camp Flognaw Rap Festival in America last November, and merch was like a real part of it. Like it wasn't just there's a merch stand. It was like half the people there. Like people were more interested in the merch than they were most of the lineup. It was
crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, and it's hundreds of dollars. At Coachella, you'd be paying $140 for a hoodie. You'd be paying $350 for a varsity jacket, and people do. It's
And
wild.
that's just like Coachella branded as well. If you get a massive artist, like they're going to ramp the prices up. They put on collabs as well with other brands. So if like you get a Coachella collab, it's just
it's even more
obscene.
in it. But how else are people going to know that you've been, guys?
Yeah.
It's like I've noticed, and you wouldn't be able to do it, but the people that don't take their festival bands off. It's like I've been to 6 festivals this year.
Yeah.
If you had all yours on.
He used to do that.
I did, yeah. I've done it.
We've all been there. I'm not going to lie. We've all had a go at it.
I think I'm the only person who's ever not done it because I wasn't allowed to wear them after the festival. My job wouldn't allow it. So it's I always had to take them off.
You would have if you could.
I would have, yeah, until I got like a bit older.
They I I did it from like there was one that I had on from like 2009 to like 2015. But
That's grim.
But I did do it like maybe like 2021 as well, like quite recently.
I feel
And
like
the
you were
reason
doing it for the full year, weren't you?
the reason I stopped is because, like you say, like too many. But I worked in retail at the time, and I could have them on, and it's just an amazing conversation starter. And the amount of times I've been at like a bar or at or working in retail or whatever, it's a really easy way into a conversation. Not that I'm saying, look at what I've got, but like people do say like, what's that? Or they'll recognize like, oh, Leeds, I went to that. It's just keeping them clean. That's annoying. Getting out of the shower and they're wet, obviously. And then you've got to like dry them so they don't like, it's when they did come off, it was very freeing. I felt like a big burden had been lifted.
I had to take I was doing the same thing, collecting them, and then for the same reason as Dan, work, I had to cut them all off, and now I've got like it's actually there. That box there is a memory box, and it's just got all my fucking gig tickets and all my.
Love the memory box.
Yes, I've got the exact same. I've got a little treasure chest with all mine in, like starting from what is it, like 2017 or 16 actually. I think the first one's in there from. So there's tons.
I've been trying to find something cool to do with mine. I had them in a frame, but my execution wasn't very good.
Just put them all back on.
Yeah. And then I saw someone at a festival with a jacket, and they were all on the jacket. And I've seen some naff executions of that, and this was an amazing one. But then I was like, well, when am I going to wear that jacket? I'm still looking for the right answer what to do with them, because I'll have over 100 of them, and it'd be nice to immortalize them because they are just in a box at the minute.
Do we need to turn the light on? By the way, it's getting a bit dark in here.
Yeah, you can do if you want.
Go for it if you want.
I'm just thinking.
Normally, so we've had some people on there. It's gone pitch black, and we're like, "What's going on there?" You guys are there. You are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's much nicer actually.
Very bright.
Sorry for the break there.
I'm loving the background, by the way.
Yeah, where are you?
We're in our living room,
Don't call it that. Call it.
Sorry,
we're in the podcast studio.
which is attached to our living room.
This isn't my bedroom at all.
We're in the studio.
So when you're at your gig, where do you guys like to stand? If some people obviously want to go.
Do you get stuck in?
You're in the middle. You're at the front. You're at the back. Are you on the side of the stage?
I think it depends on the band, really. We don't want to go side stage because the music's always terrible. Like the levels and everything, you can't hear the band properly. But if it's a band we love, we'd probably come in late, push us away from the back a little bit forward, wait for a pit to open, and then walk through the pit to the front.
Nice.
That's usually what we do. But for bands that we don't know as much, definitely linger at the back of the pit.
It's been a long time since I've been at the front of any gig. Maybe like the 20th row is probably where we would get to with the mosh pit technique, which is a great technique, especially if you're having a mosh as well.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of mosh on your commute. But it's always like at festivals we stand like in line with the
Music.
like sound tent, the lighting, whatever you would call that.
The sound tent.
The professionals will know. Is it sound tent?
It's the sound tent. It's where the sound man stands.
The sound man. But that's just a good vibe. You've got enough room to get you dancing on and, to swing a cat, so to speak. And
arguably, that's where the sound's going to be best because the sound man's got to listen to it from the sound tent and he's got to hear the levels.
Exactly.
I feel like we do that.
We do. We do that at Slam Dunk quite a lot.
Yeah.
Rely on that area, the techie box.
Yeah.
it's also very easy to meet back at if someone dips to have a slash.
And there's usually an ice cream van behind it.
Not in the Key Club, there's not. You've shot yourself in the foot.
That's not a gig, though. It's a festival.
Class. Right, so that's nice. We've kind of set the scene quite nicely there for
Yes, we have.
how this is going to look. But before we go on to choosing your opening acts for the evening, let's crack on with a few more questions.
Cool.
Just a few.
We're a bit fucking nosy, aren't we?
Kind of our job.
Do you know what I mean? Right, so guys, what artist's live set has turned you into a lifelong fan? Maybe someone that you didn't follow before. Well, is there anyone you've seen you thought, fuck, love it?
Ooh.
Chemical Brothers.
Fair.
Good shout.
I thought the Chemical Brothers were rappers, two rappers. because I'd heard their hit song Galvanize, which has rap vocal, and I'd had a pretty shit day. I had some stuff going on in my head. I was at Latitude Festival, and the Chemical Brothers were headlining, and I couldn't have anticipated in any way what I was going to expect. I thought I was going to see a rap show, so I'm sat on the bleachers at the back, and if anyone's seen the Chemical Brothers, it's the most visually entrancing live show, if that's a word,
I think it is,
that you could ever see, and it's all like electronic music, and it blew my little mind.
Nice.
And I've since seen them in the States and on their own arena tour in the UK, and they're fucking incredible. And I don't like a lot of electronic music, but you know they're incredible. That's my answer. The Chems.
Like that.
Mine's one people probably won't expect. It's someone who they just expect me to love them from day one. But it's the 1975. I heard about them when they first started. I can't remember what album it was, but it was like early days, and I just thought it was rubbish. Couldn't care less about it. Just had nothing to do with it. And then we eventually moved in together, and he listens to them all the time, so fewer songs started perking up on me, but still really couldn't care less. And then I got a ticket to a Manchester gig where you went to meet Chris, and I was stood at the sides with someone else. Like you were down in the main bit, and I were on side, and I were filming it, and I absolutely fell in love with them right there and then.
God, yeah, 2016, wasn't it? Manchester Arena.
Just incredible.
Great show, that.
Like and it's still to this day one of my favourite pieces of footage I've ever filmed, where he's just spinning around with guitar, and you can tell he's just so in the moment, loving life. And since that day, I've loved it.
It was their first arena tour, that.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and that's their home turf as well, so it must have felt amazing for them, and you really got to feel it in the crowd, and just absolutely turned me into a lover.
Great answer.
And they are fantastic as well.
Yeah,
Love that.
I like the 1975.
Yeah. I'm not so much of a huge fan, but I think I'm
made to feel like it's a guilty pleasure for some reason.
Again, something that we discussed. We can say it because it's been released now. Tom chose 1975 as his first opening act. For his
As the opening act.
As the opening act.
God,
that's going
to be a pretty
gig.
big headliner then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we can tell you it's happened. So it was Blink and then Bring Me the Horizon.
Fair.
Because he
What a
loves.
strange order.
Okay.
If he was a promoter, he'd struggle with that one.
I feel like from those three bands, though, it's only Bring Me and Blink that I'd swap around, because you got to think of the type of if Bring Me and Blink are there, that means it's rock and metal, which 1975, nice little appetizer for you.
Yeah.
Because Matt Healy likes playing a guitar every once in a while, and he'd bang out some heavier songs.
Yeah.
If he's got some.
Yeah, there's
and
a couple.
then you'd blow everyone away with a bit of Bring Me, and then obviously biggest acts, Blink to bar everyone.
That's the right running order for it, I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
Fully.
I mean, we'd have a fucking blast at that, but
Yeah, it'd be a great show apart from Blink.
I'm starting to like my gig, which obviously we'll come to, but like it was, as I say, it was grounded in realism, so I didn't have like the Beatles as the opening act. So
See,
I really did go for like, who's my favorite in this segment?
yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Because actually, no one else has really done that so far.
I think having that discipline makes it like mine's 10 times more interesting than it would have been if I'd have just gone like, who do I really want to
three
see?
massive artists.
Yeah.
like
No
who
disrespect,
everyone loves.
of course, to Tom.
No,
That'd be a great show.
disrespect to Tom.
but don't expect big heavy hitters from mine.
Expect at least one band that you're not going to know on mine.
No, I like that.
Okay,
I like that.
it's well thought. We've had some mental.
We've had some mental lineups. Yeah.
Right, guys, have you ever discovered a band that's on early, and it's before anyone really cares at that sort of time of the festival, and you've thought, wow, hang on a minute, they've got some legs.
Not necessarily at a festival, but I have done it at a gig. Mood Ring, I think they're called. I hope they're called. I can't remember now.
That was so good. The name escapes you.
Look, I'm not great with stuff like that. I like the music. Saw them before a Static Dress gig. They came over from America, and just incredible. But I'd never heard of them, and I should have done my research beforehand, because I'd have really enjoyed watching them at that gig where I'm not going to get the chance to see him now.
It's
for
annoying,
years.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, just horrendous. Wish I'd have not come in for the last song.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a great like visceral memory
You love that word.
of, it's a good word, of walking through Leeds Fest in middle of the day and going into a tent. It was like 2011, 2012 maybe, and seeing this band called Cassidy with a K, and just blowing me and my mate Raz away. Acoustic, like it was like 4 lads with acoustic guitars and like 1 drummer. So you can kind of imagine what that soundscape was like. It was very like acoustic.
Sounds awful.
And it was just amazing, this bath of sound that was so like,
Not making it sound good.
it was great. They have a song called Take Another Ride, and it's got like gang vocals in the chorus, and it just stopped us dead in our tracks, and we were like, this is class. And do you know what? I listened to that song today just by chance, and I was like, oh, are they still going? And they are still going. They're playing a festival in Scotland this year that we're not going to, but I would love to see them again. Band called Cassidy. Very cool.
I'll check
listen
those
later
out.
on.
We'll be adding that song to the.
Take Another Ride.
Any
It's called.
what about you? I'll hit you with that same question.
Who have I? Oh mate, honestly, it's been.
You're out of time.
Yeah,
But
I'm out of
thanks for
time.
playing.
Come back.
Eliminated.
That's
Mine
savage,
was.
man.
Do you know Corella?
Corella.
Yeah, I know the name.
I'm gonna call you up on this. Did you actually see them at a gig first?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, in Brighton when they
Oh.
were like
So
playing
what, you
to
were just-
4 people,
Oh, fair. Because we obviously,
and now they're quite big.
yeah.
Well,
because you were messaging them after that, weren't you? Asking to do this photography for a bit,
Yeah.
and they were up for it.
yeah.
Fair.
Check
Brighton's
out-
great.
Check them out. Good band.
How do you spell it?
Corella.
Corella.
Correct.
Like it, like I thought.
I'll send you some links with the dog dribble.
I'll have a
I got a
listen.
big email
Corella.
after this with like a video of him eating dog spit and then some bands.
I can't wait for these links.
Lads, what's your festival starter pack? So like essentials that, let's say 3 items each that you can't live without and that you'd fight someone for if if they weren't missing.
Ooh.
Are we so? Ours might be a bit different because we're there to do a job.
Can have fun though.
Like if you had a band on, they could say like guitar. Like obviously, I'm gonna need that. But I think in terms of general, absolute essentials, power bank. Anyone can get use out of a power bank.
Yeah, true.
Little speaker for round at camp, must have. You know, the vibe is infinitely better when there's just some music on all the time. And do you know what? I'm going to throw in a random one that's also audio related. Some AirPods or other wireless earbuds.
Really? What?
Because when you go to the silent disco and it's shit, then you just put what you want on, which me and Raz do, and it's great.
And have it large to your own music.
Nice.
So for me, number 1, got to be a blackout tent. There's nothing better than getting into your tent at night and it's pitch black. And then you wake up in the morning and it's still dark. It's nice and cool because the sun's not heated it up as long as you've got the silver ones that block the sun. That's a game changer for a festival. A
I've
really
never
good
used
blackout
one.
tent.
Never used one.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah. I bet.
Number 2, it's got to be the speaker. Like you can't sit around camp without music.
So we've got 2 speakers at our camp now.
And we probably would as well. We might have 3 if Ben comes.
We would have 3 for sure.
And the third one would be booze. You've got to take something to drink. Otherwise, you're spending at festival and it's far too expensive.
You know, I've just ordered another round of like pouches to put like spirits in, to sneak into like festivals, you know, into the arena at festivals. And it's such a game changer, and
It really is.
It saved us probably $1,000 at Coachella last year.
Yeah, that specifically that place. That's the best place to do it
What did
because
you
it's
sneak it
so
in?
expensive.
Is it like one of those camel pouches? Like
Just like a little, like 500 ml just plastic drinks pouch,
Like
and
Capri Sun.
yeah, like a Capri Sun. That's great comparison.
I've seen those, yeah. Okay.
And
Sick.
you get a little funnel that comes with the funnel. That's like £6 on Amazon for a decent amount of them, and then you just fill them up with vodka because that kind of goes with everything. And then you just buy your soft drinks, don't you, in the site? And
Can of Cokes, slip a little bit in. You're laughing.
it's a game changer.
That was a
Just-
worthy investment.
Is vodka the choice also because it looks like water? In case anyone.
Well, no, because you can't get water in if it's like open.
Fair. Okay.
But it's just. I mean, I had the displeasure of having a Jack Daniels and Fanta a few weeks ago, and it really wasn't very cohesive. So
It's got to be something that goes with multiple drinks.
Yeah, like
if they
everyone-
run out of Coke, you've got to be able to switch it up. But I don't like vodka. Like,
I mean, I hate vodka, but it's just
Does the job.
you just got to suck it
Yeah.
up. It goes with a Coke. It goes with a Monster.
get a rum. That's what I like. A nice brown, maybe golden rum.
But also, the thing is as well, when we take these in, it's communal, so it needs to be like something everyone likes.
I know, and that's really annoying because I cannot stand vodka.
Well, bad news.
It's like a certain type of drunk where I'll either cry or smash the house up. You know what I mean? It's one of
What, on vodka?
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly. It turns me into an angry.
That's my gin. Gin does that for me.
Does it?
How did you get Jack Daniels and Fanta? Why was that ever together?
Oh, mate, we were on the plane to fucking Benidorm, and they must have deliberately understocked this plane because they knew it'd be full of like wankers going to Benidorm, and it was. And
It was
so the drink selection was just insanely limited, and they had 2 7-Ups and 1 Fanta. And I was just like, I'll just have the Fanta, Jack Daniels and Fanta.
I had a bottle of wine.
Classy.
Yeah.
That is
It wasn't classy at all. It was just what was left.
Yeah,
My initial
beggars
drinks,
chooses.
no beers.
He was at the back of the plane, so he got the real.
I was actually in the middle, which is
Were
the
you?
worst spot because that's where the meet up.
Oh yeah, it's the end of both of the.
Luckily, lads in front of me brought some entertainment. So.
Yeah,
But God,
ridiculous.
terrible.
Well, lads, I think it's time to probably move on to actually talking about the acts that are performing at your dream gig. So let's start off. We don't like calling them support acts because we've been told off a few times by other guests because we normally call them support acts, but they're not support acts.
What would you call them?
Yeah, this is
Opening
The
act.
opening act.
yeah, it's
the opening act.
spot in the headliner. Aren't they?
I think support works.
If it works for you guys, then thank you because that's what I've written here. So let's go with support acts
That
and
works
fuck
very
everyone
well.
else.
Yeah.
Didn't like them anyway.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck them, yeah. So yeah, let's go with Dan. Who is your first act?
So my first act, I've obviously gone with the realism, where it's a small band where they need to be put into the limelight, and it's someone I've come across recently because I'm very spontaneous with bands. It's someone who's like I get obsessed with a band very quickly, and they'll become like in my top 3 for a long time, like Static Dress did, even though they've stayed there. But this band are called Holy Water.
Okay.
And they're a bit grungy. It's a bit new metal, bit metalcore, and they're really small, but I absolutely love it. They've got some sexy tones, and I think
Sexy tones.
Yeah, I don't
Love
know
it.
the proper terminology for music.
It's hard to describe. That's why I said Batha sound.
But it makes me want to gyrate my hips, and that's what music's
Oh,
about
no.
for
There
me.
you go.
Oh, there you go. We need to check them out.
We do Holy Water. And what's their encore song for their set?
It'll be Nail Polish, just
Nail
because
Polish by Holy Water.
that's the one I know the lyrics to the most, because I'm terrible at remembering lyrics. I'll sing the words wrong for years until I read the lyrics.
I'm that guy as well. Do you know
Yeah,
what
we're
the
all that
worst
guy.
one is? Like until recently, it was, my boots. What is it? My scoot booting.
My boot scooting,
Boot
baby.
scooting baby.
I thought it was my boots couldn't make it until a month ago.
What's the Kooks one? The Naive.
I'm not.
Oh, I know that you know that I'm not from.
The
The
Ruskin.
Yeah, that's what I. That's
From the what?
That's what I always thought.
I don't actually know what it says. I just make my own thing up every time.
So the lyric is, I know that she knows that I'm not fond of asking,
That's
Oh,
it.
really?
but I always used to say, and obviously a lot of people used to say from the.
I go, I'm Robin of Loxley.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got the right syllables, then just fucking do what you
Right.
want.
It
Get it in
works.
there. Get it in
I
there.
love that.
My biggest thing was singing the wrong words, like really loud at a festival, and like when no one else, when everyone else stopped
Like,
singing.
they've all just decided to stop, and it's
Oh,
just you,
I-
like, from
it's-
the Ruskin.
It's humbling, and it's worse when you come in like a 4 bars early or something. Like
when they're doing that little linger, waiting for it to drop again, and you go
and I get
absolutely balls deep into it, and it's
That
just
makes me feel
shit.
ill. The thought of how many times I've done that, and especially when it's like drum and bass, and the drop, you know, it's a good 16 bars away.
So you're miles out.
I'm like the day before.
Yeah, he goes to the festival site before they've built it and just screams the line, gets it in there, banked it.
That honestly, that makes me so uncomfortable.
It's so funny. There's a clip of me. I'm filming like a band, and it's got to be. I don't know the exact count, but it's got to be 4 bars out because that makes the most sense to me in my head. And I just go with full send in like whatever this lyric is. I can't remember what band it is, but it's so funny because then you just got to shut up as quick as possible. It's like, did anyone notice? Yeah, every person.
Everybody's staring at you. So I love that.
We've all got to be humbled, haven't we? Sometimes.
Always funny when it happens to someone else.
It's usually me though, sadly.
Right. So, Rob, what about what's your kind of your first support act of?
So, I went for, this is all also artists I've never seen before. I wanted to, again, just make it a bit more interesting for myself, and stop me just going Biffy. So I think with an opening act in a stadium, definitely not everyone is arriving for it, right? So I think when stadiums are booked, you can have a bit of a weird first opener or a bit of a wild card, and I've gone for an artist called Buckethead.
Oh God!
Who?
AFC.
Yeah. So for
real.
For those who don't know, Buckethead is a virtuoso guitarist, solo artist, and no one actually knows who he is because he wears a featureless mask and a bucket on his head. And I think I would love to see Buckethead. Buckethead's music has been, he was on the Guitar Hero games back in the day, and I've had a passing interest in Buckethead since then. And maybe once a year I'll check to see if he's touring, and he always tours, but never in Europe. And I'd love to see him, and I think a half-hour set would be perfect, that opening slot. He is, you could probably say, if you're into technical guitar playing, maybe the best guitarist in the world, and just really quirky and unique. His sounds that he generates with the guitar are really interesting. He uses a kill switch, he uses a lot of pedals, and I would just love to see him. So I thought that'd be a great opener for the rest of the show, which...
Good choice.
Yeah, I mean, because you're never going to get Buckethead anywhere.
No, and I'm still only going to turn up for headline, so he's still not going to get watched.
But my... so the YouTube channel that people know us from was originally named after Buckethead. So the channel was... Back when you started a YouTube channel and you didn't have like an @ tag, it was just like a URL. It was Buckethead010. That was the screen name I picked all those years ago. So it does have a DNA within the channel as well, which I thought was an interesting little anecdote.
Yeah.
That's class.
Oscar dresses up as Buckethead.
Your son dresses up as Buckethead.
Yeah.
To do what?
Maybe he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be.
He could. You never know.
Have they ever been in same room together?
Is he 6.5 foot tall?
He's 6.
Because he's a tall guy, Buckethead.
What's he like with a guitar?
Yeah.
He can hold it.
It could be him though. You never know.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Fair.
Let's play this game because this is fun.
This is we got a game for you. So this one's called The Sacred Three. Do you want to go through the premise? I'll let you.
Right,
I've told
guys.
us a lot.
So you can only keep one song, one artist, and one album for the rest of your life. Everything else is erased musically. It's gone.
So you get to choose. So it's one song, and you get that song in your playlist forever, and one artist, and it's their whole catalogue forever, and then one album, and you get that whole album
But
forever.
there's nothing else.
But nothing else in the world exists.
That's really clever because
It's really hard for me because I can't remember the names of songs and album names and stuff.
the parameters set are really interesting because it makes you think about it a bit differently because you've got like a full band. I would normally pick like a Biffy album, but I could have their full catalogue, and that would be my pick, Biffy.
So
Biffy for the artist.
if you could pick one, you can only have one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What are you having?
A Change Your Heart by the 1975.
Good tune.
Ooh. Let Me Drown by Orville Peck.
Nice. And Dan, what was your artist?
They don't know the song. They don't know the song.
I don't.
I don't, mate. No.
How do you've listened to it through walls many times?
I've heard it through the walls. Don't mean I've listened to it.
They're all going on the playlist. That we'll know it soon. I'll know it soon enough. I don't know if you listen to the playlists.
Oh, fair enough.
I might pick it up if I've got time.
So song, Change Your Heart. Catalogue, Biffy Clyro. Album, I would pick Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar.
Fair.
Nice.
So song, Let Me Drown. Artist, probably Avenged Sevenfold. Love their entire catalogue apart from the new stuff.
So not the entire catalogue.
Anything after, well, mainly the entire catalogue. The good
Fucking
part,
great band.
just incredible. And then album is incredibly tough.
Just pick an Avenged album, even though you've got them all.
Yeah. Technology by Don Broco.
Good album.
Good shout.
Good album.
Shout. I like that. That was a good.
Underrated album.
Yeah, it really is. Like most people would think Priorities or Automatic, which are incredible albums, but Technology has just got, it's of a time for me.
It's a real
Like,
time
when
capsule.
we really loved Broco and we were there constantly for him. Just great album that.
Nice.
I first heard them in Foot Locker.
Really?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just what? Like
And I was
playing in the
like,
store?
what is this tune? And the kid was like, oh, my manager's not here, so I've got my iPod on. I was like,
Oh, so he'd synced up.
What a G.
he'd got his own tunes on.
I used to do that at Curry's. I worked at Curry's for 3 years, and customer like complained to me once because there was a swear word in it, which rightfully so. It shouldn't have been playing, but it was a 75 song with a swear word in it.
Oh, they just need to grow up.
Normally I vet it, like if I'm on the speaker, I'd be like, I've still got to be responsible. It's a customer facing place. But she was like, there's a swear word in this song and my kids here. I was like, oh. I just pretended it was like head office controlled. I was like, let me make a note of it and I'll send an email.
Yeah, nicely done.
I love that.
Have you ever
What about
had
you guys? What would you have?
What would
for
you
our
have?
Sacred 3? Oh,
I think
fuck.
it could
Put
be
you on the spot.
Caught us off guard here.
Yeah,
We've never
now you know
passed
how it feels, then. Now you know how it feels.
Jesus Christ. Go on, have you got any right now?
I think song is so hard.
So, I think people are going to be upset with some of my answers because everyone gives Coldplay shit, but my song will be Yellow from Coldplay because
Fucking masterpiece, that, mate.
Thank you.
It's in my masterpieces playlist, my no skips. Fucking brilliant song.
Yeah, exactly. It got me into songwriting when I was a kid.
Is
so
it the
like,
best Coldplay tune for you?
for me, it's means the most to me. No, The Scientist means a lot to me too, though.
Scientist is a banger.
Scientist is fucking sick, man. I'm swapping out. Oh no, I'm not swapping out Yellow. Yellow got me into songwriting. Fuck you. Stop fucking up my choices.
Do you know what
Yellow's better than The Scientist.
Which one? How does Yellow go? I can't remember.
Oh, Yellow.
What? Is that really it?
So look at the stars. I mean,
Oh,
there's
that
a
one.
guitar here if
please
we
don't.
want to bust
Nope,
that
I
out.
don't.
What's your song? While I think about highest an album.
Sorry, guys.
it's so hard. Because I do this thing like
It'll change.
I'll hear a song and then I will play it and 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 play it like non-stop, and it does everyone's nut, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I just need to have some time away from you for a bit, like the Thomas the Tank theme tune. No, not Thomas the Tank. But, like maybe like Whiskey in the Jar by Thin Lizzy. I think
Not the Metallica version.
It's
I
always
do
the
love the Metallica version. To be fair,
Fucking one of Metallica's best songs, I would say.
yeah, that is a good version. Album, and again, 1975. Is a good shout for me because I can rinse and rinse and rinse that.
What, the first album?
A lot of them. I loved the first album. You said you weren't too keen. You weren't too bothered.
Oh no, that was when I was younger, when I didn't
you're a
care for
man.
music.
Now he
And
loves
then it was like, yeah, I was a bloke. I was like, not listening to that rubbish. And then I grew up and figured out that, no, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that first album. Girls, Settle Down.
Chocolate,
Yeah.
Robbers.
Have you heard on the like deluxe version of the album?
The remixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sick,
Pressure
man.
With Artful Dodger.
Yeah, and there's a Mike
How good
Skinner
is
one.
that? Yeah.
We when we drove down to Brighton once to go and see him, and we had that on, and we just rinsing those remixes over and over. It's class.
They're so good.
Obviously, because you mentioned it in the Tom Leach episode, we've just released that on the Spotify
Fair.
playlist. So that one, the Pressure remix is on there.
I think I've got dementia because I don't remember anything about
No,
that.
Tom actually,
Who's
he
Tom?
he messaged me like, out of context, that is the most crackhead set list. Like, because we talk about Crazy Frog,
Oh yeah, bizarre.
talk about Fuck You Right Back. We talk about
Big
his
Blue.
whole fucking set list. Yeah. Just quickly, I'm gonna just say albums and shit. So for me, it'll be Where You Want to Be by Taking Back Sunday for the album. Just because it means a lot to me. And catalog, I'm going Foo Fighters. I think just because
It's a solid catalog.
Yeah, can't go wrong with
You
it.
get kind of every mood in there.
exactly.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Did we get a catalog from you?
Argos catalog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Do you know who I love? And I've loved every album pretty much. Do you know James?
we did their photography.
Do you know, Jim?
I definitely have dementia then. But yeah, big up James. I'm gonna say, or the Levelers. Do you know the Levelers from Brighton?
Yeah,
No.
Like,
I've heard a few songs.
yeah, I reckon that's. I was at Metway.
The
earlier.
Levelers.
Yeah, so that's me. That's me, lads.
There we go. Hey, we flipped the script. It's we're the hosts now.
Right. Well, any more questions for us? Or
Oh, no further questions
we're
from
good,
me
we're good.
for now.
right.
Guys, is there any festivals still on your radar that you haven't done yet, but you want to do?
I really want to go to a festival. I'm not going to this year, but the other people are. Bonnaroo in Tennessee. It sounds like a great place.
Yeah.
I
What's the lineup
it's
there?
I don't know. I can't remember.
The lineup.
I'm terrible with lineups.
It's so it's like a massive festival. It's like another Coachella. So it's like Olivia Rodrigo, Tyler the Creator, Luke Combs, who is one of the biggest stars in the world at the minute. That's a big booking. But yeah, it's just got like it caters to everything. It's got rock, it's got country, it's got pop, it's got rap. It's just a big major festival. And I'm sure we're going this year. I'm sure we'll go back, Dan, with you.
Fingers crossed. It's one that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and it's just part of the part. I like America. I think it's great. I love seeing new parts of it, and that's just somewhere I'd love to go.
Nice.
You guys just did a competition for, is it Rockville?
Yeah.
That's got a pretty amazing looking.
It's a monster of a lineup. That
Yeah, that lineup's crazy. Like, I don't.
so many
you
big
haven't
names
seen
on it.
but
No.
it's a big one.
Where
man.
is that?
I showed my missus and I was like, if you weren't pregnant,
It's it's a good in that, and it's a 4-dayer as well, which is
It's on Daytona Speedway.
yeah
isn't it?
in Florida. So can't wait for that. Um,
I'm gonna run around it like I'm a NASCAR.
yeah, there's loads of festivals on our radar, to be honest. As a entertainment platform, we need to get to all of them. To be honest, we need to go to every festival eventually, or as many as we can. So the radar is always almost infinite. But there's a big electronic one called DEFCON 1, which is in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Which is one we need to tick off. There's something called Gathering of the Juggalos in America
Oh yeah.
that we need to
that
tick
looks
off,
Mental.
like ICP
are you
style.
doing the full face paint for that? Or?
Yeah, well, we're
100%,
not
yeah.
going to that, but it's on the radar for sure. And we would be doing the face paint. You know, there's ones in Japan like Summer Sonic. So the radar is ever expanding. To be honest, it's almost annoying.
It's a bad annoyance, isn't it? A good annoyance, sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Not
It's
a
a
bad
good.
one.
It's a good problem to have.
That's what I was trying to say.
Trying
The
to
brain
narrow,
just won't work.
trying to narrow the list down each year.
But there's always new ones. There's a lot compared to when we were younger. There was hardly any.
Yeah.
It does feel that way, yeah. Like I remember there being pretty much just Leeds Fest, Glastonbury, and Party in Park when I were a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
We had.
But now they're everywhere.
Downloads, yeah. There's like the core and then there's like just so many offshoots now.
Yeah.
Little ones.
It's great as if you're a consumer. It's a punter. It's great because you do have so much choice, and you've got something on. You know, most people probably do one festival a year. We certainly did, didn't we? Until it became like what we do, and you know, now there's something on every week in the summer, so it's great for punters to have that level of diversity.
I feel that.
It's great for music as well. It means that people can get seen more. Like you, because one of the things I love about a festival is finding new artists,
The discovery.
wandering about, and you just hear someone in a tent and go, "Oh, who's that?" Or like your mate absolutely loves someone, so they'll drag you over to them, and then you end up liking them.
They're the best ones.
It's great. They're so good, and to have so many on offer, just you can't beat it.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's true.
What would you say is harder? Editing 5 hours worth of crowd footage, or trying to find Wi-Fi at a festival?
I'm the kind of person who just can shut off from Wi-Fi. Don't bother me if I can't use my phone. All I need it for is filming.
Not
Rest
even
of the
people
time.
contacting each other though. Do you not have like a festival WhatsApp group? For...
Oh, I'll happily have a wander by myself. I'll go and make some friends.
We're never really in a situation where we need Wi-Fi.
No.
We've always got signal. It's a boring answer for you, but yeah, like we never really need it, do we?
No, and we're very blessed to get given press fairly regularly. So it's like we can just nip off to press tent and steal their Wi-Fi for a bit.
Nice.
So it's never something that we truly miss.
I'll tell you, misses it. Our mate Jake Varley is always staring at his phone.
Oh yeah.
And
Deep in it.
if he's not watching a TikTok at least one a minute, then he kind of starts to crumble. So Vals would definitely be on the lookout for the Wi-Fi. Hi, Jake.
Main support.
Main support act. Let's move on to the second act of the evening. And I think it's like with Dan last time, so maybe Rob this time.
To you.
Oh, cool.
Uh-huh.
So, complete genre shift, but it's going to make sense when you know about the headliner. So we've had Buckethead. Now we're going to have an artist I love. Perfect size for a stadium. Second support under the headliner. We're going to go for Ice Cube.
Nice.
What?
Okay.
We've got O'Shea Jackson himself. I think that's his name. I'm a huge rap fan. I've never seen Ice Cube. He's one of my favorite rappers that I've never seen.
What about Easy?
That I could see. And also Easy wasn't a very good rapper. Just a good vibe. From what I've seen, Ice Cube's still active. He is, from what I've seen, some of the videos of his performances, he raps quite well live. It's not just shouting over the instrumental, which a lot of rappers do. I'd love to see him. He's been very important to me. His contribution to music has made a big impact on me over the years, especially when I was younger. And I think it'd be a real good vibe to see Ice Cube in the Spanish stadium with a burrito in your hand.
And
Yeah.
he's good friends with Buckethead
See?
as well.
I think they'd get on.
Yeah, they'd get on for
100%.
sure.
Little Buckethead cameo during that set.
They go way back.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, right?
It'd be a man who's technical with his hands talking to a man who's technical with his mouth.
There we go.
Like two technical boys.
And what would his? Sorry, I'll just cut you up. What were you going to say?
What was his encore?
What was his encore?
Ice Cubes.
Yeah.
It's got to be Today Was a Good Day, on it. That's like the ultimate like feel good rap song. Very rare to have like a gangster rap tune rooted in positivity. It's very unique and it's such a great beat. And I think it would get everyone ready. And it's got like a bit of a guitar driven kind of smooth. I think it would appease the rockers that showed up for Buckethead and the hip hoppers as well. Sound like Fred Durst. So it's going to be Today Was a Good Day. And let me tell you, it bloody would be a good day.
It would.
I love that.
I'd come to that.
Yeah, I feel like you go to most. We both go to most of these gigs. To be fair,
Buckethead and
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Nice. Dan, what about you, mate?
Just someone I keep mentioning all the time. It's a little break in the genres. So you've come in with Holy Water, you've been, oh my God, these are actually really good. Got in the pit, had a little mosh.
Got your burrito.
Got you sent out of there. Next artist comes on. We need to calm down because the main artist, you got to save some energy for them. It's Orville Peck, obviously, because I absolutely adore the man. And he's going to give you some lovely music just to like sing along to, maybe have a little cry, have a little dance with your friends. He's got something for every mood of the day.
I think the heavy crowd would definitely fuck with him.
It probably would, yeah. And it just breaks the evening up a little bit, and it makes it so you
Palate
can
cleanser, innit? In between the tapas.
There you go.
I like the dynamics.
Love it. And what would his encore be?
Same song that I've chosen to listen to forever. Let Me Drown.
Nice.
Lovely. Again,
Something on the playlist.
I can give you another one if you want.
Give us another one just so we can add it to the playlist so people can get a bit of a taste for.
Let me remind myself of what his song names are because I forget.
That's fine. Don't worry.
My favorite artist, and I can't remember my favorite songs. Is honestly.
Don't matter about the name,
know what?
mate. That's how it makes you feel.
I will take Hope to Die.
Sounds like a right nice song, that, doesn't it?
It's a very
Hope to Die.
very
Get that on. That's going to get me in the
song.
mood.
Very sad song that, but you know what? I'll be up front screaming it at him.
Lovely.
There's a funny little anecdote that I'll throw in. I'll keep it quick, but we saw Orville Peck, and in the break between the songs, Danny shouted, "I love you," and we thought, "What are you doing, Dan?" And then Orville Peck shouted it back to him. He said, "I love you too." And it went from being the like, "Shut up, Dan," to like, "That's so cool." And like, it was real whiplash on it.
I were bellowing at him, like singing every word of him, shouted that, got the "I love you" back.
It was class. It was
felt incredible.
It was a lovely moment.
And then a nice little cherry on top that just made me feel like I'm a lot cooler than other people. Was some other person tried it, song stopped, shouted "I love you," got nothing. Just said nothing back.
It hurts so much when like they don't respond. So
yeah,
it's good that you got.
I wouldn't know though. I wouldn't know.
No, exactly. The validation was there.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
Love that.
So, what are you thinking? One more game before we hit the headline.
Go on then.
We like this game. We play this game quite a lot. This one's called Death Row Setlist. So, the idea is you got to imagine you're on death row, and you got to pick 3 songs. And so the categories for these 3 songs is 1 song for nostalgia, 1 song to rage out to, and then 1 song to go out peacefully to, or your life encore song.
Cool.
Oh, let me go back into my library because I can't remember names.
So yeah, hit us with nostalgias first, and we'll take both of yours, and we'll go through it like that.
For nostalgia, I'll go for Caroline by Status Quo.
Nice.
Still one of my favourite songs by one of my favourite bands. There's not many people younger than 60 that actually like Status Quo, but my dad listened to a lot of Status Quo, and I go and see him anytime I can, and it transports me to being back in the car, listening to it on a cassette tape when I was a kid. So that's my nostalgia one, Caroline.
Kind of stolen mine a little bit there. I haven't been able to go through the artist quick enough, but it's a band that I went and saw with my dad, which sadly because of Rob Dad's passing, like I wanted to have moments with my dad that I've never had before and that I would cherish forever. One of his favourite bands is Stray Cats, and I can never remember. That's why I'm still looking at my phone. What they're called? What the
Stray Cat Strut, Rock This Town. They're the big ones.
It's Stray Cat Strut. And I went to a gig with him in Manchester.
I wish I would have gone to that.
I wish you'd have come.
Great band.
But it was like fairly early doors for the channel, and like I listen to him now, and I think of that time, and I had a really nice time. But it reminds me of being in a car with my dad when I was younger, and just driving somewhere, and he'd be singing along, and like he'd just be having a great time, and he'd be listening to radio. And Kaiser Chiefs have just hit #1, and he goes, "Hey Dan, this band they're gonna do really well. You should listen to them." It's like, well, obviously they're fucking #1.
He had that sixth sense, didn't he?
He really did. Like, but yeah, Stray Cat Strut just takes me back.
Nice. There's a lot to be said for that. I think my whole love for music started in the car with my dad, and he was blaring. I think it was "Holidays in the Sun" by the Sex Pistols.
Mm-hmm.
On the way to school in reception that you weren't. And like, that's what got me into it. I'll never forget that.
That's it, innit? That's all it takes. Like, it's
Thanks.
It's Guitar Hero for me. That's what got me into proper music. Before that, couldn't care less.
That's the same as Nathan.
Guitar Hero was
It's just incredible.
crucially important.
Well, that and like Viva La Bam and Jackass and
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah. Well,
You know.
maybe not so much, but like maybe from Vice City onwards, yeah. Like I didn't care about the music in 3, but like watching Viva La Bam and Jackass and the skater. I wanted to be a skater. I don't know if you can tell, but so I used to love watching those and the music that they listened to. Just I adored that as well, and it really made me love that. And Tony Hawk's and
I was going to say Tony
all
Hawk's.
sorts of stuff.
What did they listen
Apart
to
from the ska.
in Jackass? Like him. Bam loved him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were listening
I was
to
listening
him?
to him yesterday.
Yeah.
Bit of him. Villavella's voice is great.
Again, yeah. So Funeral of Hearts by him. In fact, fuck Stray Cats. Because my
Fuck that nice memory with my dad.
No,
I watched
well-
Viva La Bam.
I love my brother more than my dad. So Funeral of Hearts by him, like proper takes me back. And Adam, my older brother, is someone who like kind of pointed me on the right direction with rock and roll and a bit of metal and stuff like that. Although he wouldn't admit to it now and he hates it.
He sold out.
Fair enough. Okay, what about rage songs? So you're in your cell.
Something to break out to potentially.
You want to? Well, you're not breaking out. You're going to die. It is what it is.
You have to die.
But you're going to try and break out, I guess. So one to smack the walls a little bit and a little bit crazy with.
This is the hardest one of the 3 for me.
Do you think?
Yeah, you go
I
first.
just can't remember the name of the song.
Fucking hell.
I've got a terrible mind. I don't
Who's it
understand how
by?
it works. Lorna Shaw. We all know the
Yeah, I
one.
know the one.
The
It's
oh, wait,
terrible
do I even have it
noise.
saved? I ain't got it saved. I like it so much. What's it? Into the Hellfire or To the
That's
Hellfire?
it.
Somewhat along
Into the
those lines by
Hellfire, yeah.
Lorna Shaw.
To the Hellfire.
To the Hellfire, that's the one. Just the end of that where he's screaming, that voice, just incredible. Absolutely blew me away the first time I heard it, and I just want to beat someone up listening to it and scream along to it and destroy my vocal cords. So that'd be my choice.
You won't be very good on the podcast with
No?
destroyed vocal cords, would you?
Well, I'd still be able to make noise,
Yeah.
just not very well. What about you? You figured it out yet?
I'll go with What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse by Black Dahlia Murder. I didn't want to just choose something that's just straight up heavy, but that's what I've done. Just because I can't think of.
Ridiculous.
But I love that song. And it's there are times where I'll dip my toes into like really heavy music. Like, I don't know what you would even call Black Dahlia.
black metal.
But like, that's about as that and like Dragged into Sunlight is about as heavy as I'll go.
I do remember listening to that fairly regularly when we were younger.
It's a great song, and it's just angry. It's got good energy. It's got some amazing drums. I'd probably be air drumming along in my cell, and that one would really work up a sweat. So it'd be good exercise.
Cellmate, I'd love you.
You don't have a cellmate on death row.
Fair enough.
Have you ever been on death row before, mate?
No.
You've obviously never tried sneaking into tent at Kendall Collins. So that's mine, Black Dahlia.
Lovely. Nice. Okay. Well, not lovely, but
No, lovely. And what about To Go Out Peacefully to? What would be your...
Hang on.
your final encore of your life.
All the Way Down by Biffy Clyro, my favourite song
Nice.
of all
So-
time.
This is the song that I have made noted that I'd have it at my funeral.
That is my funeral.
Yeah, my
as well.
funeral song, and it has been since I were like 16 years old. Warmness on the Soul by Avenged Sevenfold.
Nice.
Just a beautiful song.
Yeah,
that.
nice song. First album,
Like the lyrics don't really
quite raw.
mean that much, but it's just I loved that first album. It was like the first album that I liked actual screamy stuff, and then from there it grew into like more normalized stuff with like Bring Me and Bullet but yeah, Warmness on the Soul by Avenged.
Good choice. Great
Just
choice.
a beautiful song in an otherwise mental album.
Yeah, you don't hear much Avenged Sevenfold at funerals, and that's a real shame.
Right? Bring that. Let's start making that happen. They've got a song called Afterlife.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Burn it down as you're going into the...
Yeah, what a banger that is,
That is
Cremated,
amazing.
is that what you're saying? yeah?
Cremated,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Okay.
Incinerated.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, lads, we're on to the headline act for the night.
We are.
Yeah, big boys.
Woo! We got there.
Numero uno.
Dan, let's go with you, mate. Let's hit us with your headline act.
All right. So my headline act is the reason I've chosen Key Club, because I've only ever seen them at massive events. I've never had the chance to see them, even somewhere as small as an academy. But I think you saw them at an academy years and years ago, but unfortunately I was in a job where I couldn't leave. It's Avenged Sevenfold.
They're back again.
But it's only pre-Nightmare album.
That would be amazing.
Like,
Nice.
everything before Nightmare. Not even Nightmare. Forget that album as well. Everything before it.
I mean, that would be what dreams are made of even today.
And that'd be because I'm now in my tiny little Key Club venue, so intimate with 9 of my
Orville
mates.
Peck supporting Avenged Sevenfold. Man.
Well, he's
Fucking
the nice. He's the palate cleanser.
I don't think all of Avenged could fit on the Key Club stage with Brooks's drum kit.
Well, you got 2 ends, haven't you? Just have it. So you've got.
Yeah,
You can do that.
I mean, that would be fucking unreal.
It'd be insane, and it's nice and intimate, really moshy with the best stuff they've ever done. Yeah, just that'd be it for me.
Nice.
And do they get an act to come with them? I heard.
Yeah, this is it. So before they play their own encore song, your headline act is able to bring out absolutely anyone to join them for one song. Pre-encore.
Is it only one song?
I mean, you can
I told my artist that it was for the entire set.
bring them
They're
the
here
fuck
for the-
What
on.
kind of gig is this, man?
It's my dream gig.
Let me
That's what
put you on
kind
the
of
stage
gig it is.
now. They're late. So yeah, tell us about it. Who is it?
It's Ollie Sykes, because it's Ollie Sykes. I just think his voice doesn't lend itself well to Avenged Sevenfold, so I'd love to see it clash and be weird.
So you'd love him
and-
to ruin your dream gig.
But they do it in a way that I love. And, I'd love to see Ollie change up his tones, put in some of that Sheffield dirt on top of it. I think it'd just really change the way Avenged sounds in like the best possible way. And the fact that he's there for the entire set means he's got to practice with them, so they'll actually come up with something good rather than him coming on, fucking it up and leaving again.
I think that's like, where you've got like 2 things you like, but they don't work together well, like pizza and
Chocolate and lemon, but Raz loved it.
Yeah, just don't think. But it's your gig.
It is my gig, and I tell you what, they played a great
I
show.
would go to that gig, to be fair.
Yeah, I feel like we all. It's such a
100%.
small venue as well. Amazing. And what's the encore song then?
It's Beast and the Harlot. It's the first Avenged song I ever heard.
Nice.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
That's what introduced me to Avenged. So it's got to be that one. Can't be all else.
Yeah. Good shout. Good shout. I love that. Rob, what about you, mate? Let's go to your headline act.
So we've had Buckethead, we've had Ice Cube, and now, and again, keeping in the theme of bands I've never seen, this is a band that would fill the stadium, one of the best bands of all time. The rap guys like them, the rock guys like them, the mighty Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, I could have guessed.
One of the best bands of all time, and I've never been lucky enough to see them, and I wish they've apparently stopped touring again now, and I'm very upset about that. Such a wasted
That is sad.
opportunity.
Did you catch any Prophets of Rage?
No, I would be very happy to watch Prophets of Rage. The best I've seen is Tom Morello, who's brilliant and a hero of mine for sure. But
Why didn't you say him earlier then?
he's not as much of a hero as Simon. But when you're just getting those snippets of Rage in the Tom Morello set, it's real, like it's a real tease.
Love that. Okay, and so same question. Who's the special guest coming on, and what's their pre-encore song that they're performing, or is it?
You're not going to believe this one, guys.
Go on, hit us.
You're not going to believe it. So, I'm going to have Eminem. You're not going to believe it, but Eminem is doing a show on the same night. No, the night before, in a different stadium. And Cubes hit him up and said, Marshall, you want to come and scope the Rage show and see my set? And Eminem will no doubt respect Rage a lot, and vice versa. And They just think, let's just throw Lose Yourself in for him. Imagine Lose Yourself. M's on the vocal, obviously, and it's got that, because it's a guitar-driven song, is Lose Yourself, and it's got that Tom Morello sound, that signature tone, and the energy of the Rage rhythm section. That would be fucking sick, man.
That would be very
class.
good.
I didn't know I needed that until now.
Yeah, that is a collab that someone's surely got to do some sort of.
That'd be us on GarageBand tonight.
No, just AI. We'll be like
Oh, yeah.
plugging into
I'll,
AI.
tell you what, I'll drop Shady a message and get it sorted.
Nice one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Awesome. And is he staying on for the actual the final encore with Rage, or is he?
No, he's just, it's a one and done.
Yeah.
It's a one and done.
Fair
God,
play.
he's boring.
And then the last song is going to be Bulls on Parade. Killing in the Name's the obvious choice, but Bulls on Parade for me is probably my favourite one of theirs. And while they've used it as an opener a lot, it would really keep me... I think it'd be a great closer. Because I'd probably only see them once at the rate that they perform. So that would be my last memory of seeing them.
Nice.
I like it.
I love it. This has been a really interesting episode.
It has.
In terms of the gig. Like, it's been so different, but also so straightforward and
Yeah, we've had some fucked up shit.
also realistic shit as well. Slightly realistic. Orville Peck supporting. Yeah.
I
You
can't.
leave my Orville Peck out.
Wait, sorry, yeah.
The Eminem thing was where I let the discipline go a little bit because location wise that would be very difficult. But and I've also seen him before, so that was like kind of breaking my own rule. But you gotta have some fun with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Got to live a little.
Exactly.
It's Friday, is it?
Absolutely. Oh, it is Friday. Yeah.
It's
Fucking
Friday.
hell.
Yeah, thank you for spending your Friday evening with us and so much of it as well. But
A
lads,
pleasure.
It's been a very
I've
good
had
night.
a
I
blast.
really enjoyed it.
You guys are great.
you've
You are.
yeah.
Stop.
Stop it.
I fucking love you, boys.
Oh.
Stop it. Love you too.
You guys have well, you're officially inducted to the Encore Club. You're part of the
Woo.
club.
I like it. I need a
rather-
tattoo to commemorate it now.
Yeah, 100%. We need tattoos. We'll think about it.
Yeah.
Seen that looking in before.
Yeah. You guys not got TPD TV tattooed somewhere yet?
We've got a question mark and
Yeah, there's two.
and a lemon.
2 tattoos that have DNA of the channel.
No.
We've got some terrible tattoos together though.
Before we let you guys go, we always play. We don't play. We do a couple of like would you rather questions just to round
Cool.
off.
It's like a night out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. Drinking games and would you rather.
Yeah. Okay.
You go for it, man.
Okay. Would you rather lose your tent or lose your phone on the first night of a festival?
Tent.
Lose my tent, yeah.
Yeah.
My phone's got the vlog on it.
The phone is worth. I have the cheapest tent going, and the phone's worth orders of magnitude more than the tent.
We've got about 10 tents sat in our kitchen. Like we can always come back and get another.
Great place to keep them, the kitchen. But we do.
The thing is, for me, since I saw the Weasleys tent at the Quidditch World Cup,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Smart.
not
That tent
in
wasn't
any
real
other
though.
tent.
That's like
I want an
ultimate glamping.
upstairs, and theirs was minor compared to other wizards.
Sorry.
That's not real.
It's real. If just because it's in your head, don't mean it's not real, Dan.
Fuck you, man.
You know,
Fair play. Will
typical Muggle energy.
yeah.
Mudblood.
You are nerds.
Would you rather watch a full set in torrential rain or in ankle deep mud?
Rain. Love the
Yeah,
rain.
torrential rain gives it a
It's class.
It's a different vibe.
No.
It's all Stormzy when it were absolutely
Yeah.
levering it down over in somewhere. Well,
Kaiser Chiefs in the pissing down.
I'd rather have watched someone. better.
Oh, I love the rain.
Nice.
It is great. Mud can fuck off. Not a fan of it.
Slippy in it.
And
Don't
when,
wanna slip.
when it's muddy as well, you don't know how much of that mud is piss or shit. Like it could be out in there. So take the rain.
Okay. Would you rather interview your dream artist but totally blank on their name mid-recording, or accidentally
do that.
call them the wrong name the whole time?
I'd
Blank,
go, yeah, the
blank for
blank.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I got it wrong the entire time, that he's gonna think I'm an absolute tosser.
I'm just not very professional.
Yeah, but if I got it wrong once, I can then be like, "Oh, sorry, I do actually know your name, Orville.
Simon.
Orville."
You know why I've put that one in, don't you?
We did it, but it's not like he's a dream artist.
Was it Tom Leach?
It wasn't. No, we know it's a relatively easy name to
Do you know
understand.
what? Because of how the episode went, fuck him. It was called Anthony. Was it Anthony?
It's either Anthony or Anthony, but we're unsure at this point.
I hate that.
He corrected us halfway through. He's like, it's actually Anthony.
It wasn't him. Like,
And then we
Also, you were saying Anthony.
yeah,
I was saying,
Well, it's the same. That's the same thing.
it's the
Right,
same.
exactly.
But he
Thank
corrected
you.
us, and then we continued to.
and he just kept on pulling me up on it. And it's my little brother's mate as well. So it's just like, mate, dude, what are you doing? Like,
I think there should be an air of it's professional, like an air of professionality, where
Professionalism.
professionalism. There you go, a new
Jesus.
word for you. Where like he shouldn't do that.
agreed.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, and I'm your guest, the last thing I want to do is make you look bad, or make you second guess yourself in any way. You could have called me John, and I'd have just allowed it because it's easier for everyone, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
But I feel like, Rob,
I feel like we've got
that would have been a little bit fucked. Like, if I was just calling you John the whole episode and then we
I'd have
released
found
it.
it
And
hilarious.
it would be funny though. Like, it.
I'd have loved that.
Yeah.
I would have loved that to happen.
Nigel and John here.
But with names like Anthony and Anthony, like
It's the same name.
we know someone who like they definitely told me their name when I first met them, but because I'm dumb, it didn't sit in there, and I've met them so many
I'm
times
terrible
now.
with it, man.
I feel like it'd be so rude to try and figure out what the name is. So it's got to be the surname. Like it's just like, hey, how you doing, mate? And like I'm not going to say his name just in case he watches, and I don't want to make him feel bad.
It's so hard with I get real anxious about introductions, and I was out with like some of Mary's friends, and I know all their names, but like not completely off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I did the worst thing, which was didn't do the introduction because I was like, I'm gonna mess it up,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be so embarrassing. I'm terrible with it. I am.
That's why I just like, oh, this is Mary's mate.
Class. Yeah. All right. Well, last one then. Would you rather crowd surf wearing a kilt, nothing underneath, or do a silent disco in full medieval armor? I feel like this isn't. I don't know which one I prefer out of that.
Can I do both?
They sound fun, don't they?
Can I crowd surf in the medieval armor?
Oh, that'd be class as well.
but
Can
you
you imagine
know,
you get
Just
dropped?
crush some people.
Like,
You hear the music, but when like the headphones are off and you just, do you know what I mean?
Just you-
It's all just quite like.
It is.
I'd
It's
do.
really tough. I
I'd
think.
do if you've got your dick out, which you're gonna have, because
You're wearing a
it
kilt.
was specific to mention that there's nothing underneath.
Well, if they're looking up my
That
kilt,
can
they're
you
the
can
wrong
get
ones.
into real trouble, even without intending.
hands going
Someone
places
could pull
that
your
you.
willing.
Yeah, or like and the last thing I need is someone saying, "Oh, I saw Rob from TPD with his knob went in my
schmeckle.
face." So I'm gonna go for the armor silent disco. Where's the headphones? Are they inside the helmet?
No.
So I've got literally tinny audio.
When the
It's
fuck
resonating
are they-
through the.
It's like those bone conductors, then. Isn't it?
Well, as you know, actually, I'll have my AirPods on me as well, so
True,
I
yeah.
just slip them in.
Maybe.
Nice. Yeah.
See, the crowds. I'd want to do the crowd surfing because it's the most fun out
It's
of the
great
two.
crowd
It's
surfing,
such
isn't
a,
it?
It's such a great feeling, and as a big bloke, like you don't get to do it that often, so it's like it's amazing.
Why? Where's
to
a big
get the
bloke,
chance.
mate? Who are you talking about?
Coming in a minute.
Yeah.
He's gonna knock fuck out of you.
Oh shit!
I'm not afraid to cocksack someone by accident. It's their fault.
Clip that.
It's their fault if they look up and they get the old slap on face.
It'd
like,
be a much smaller slap than that, though,
they
wouldn't it?
should. Sorry. They should see a man in a kilt coming. It's their fault. And
He's
I'd be
coming
holding-
now as well.
I'd be holding my skirt down as well, me kilt. So I don't think that'd be too bad. But
It'd
on
be
the other side of
catastrophic,
it,
Dan.
on the other side of it, no, I'd be holding the skirt down. They won't see. But on the other side of it, I'd have a medieval suit of armor, and I think that'd be cool, and I'd get to keep it. So
Oh, you get to keep it.
well, I made that up. So yeah, I'd be running away from that.
Do you get to keep the kilt?
Well, I doubt that you go into the silent disco and they give you headphones and a medieval suit of armor. Like what?
Yeah, I also doubt that.
So I
as
must
well.
have brought it myself, which means I now own a medieval suit of armor. So it's going to be that one. So I get to keep that.
We'll let you have both, and you can do both. So you can wear the full medieval
Yes.
suit of armor kilt, and you can crowd surf your way to the silent disco.
There
Well, there we go.
It's
Now
all come together now.
And what we've done there, we've circumvented me slapping anyone in grid with it because I'm now wearing my kilt inside the suit of armor.
Exactly.
There we go.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Lads,
Although I might need the metal shape, you know,
the
just
cod
to-
piece. Is that what it's called?
the cod piece. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, cool.
Fucking hell.
Lads, thank you so. Go on. Sorry.
Is that what they call it?
No, surely not.
Chief.
It sounds about right, doesn't it?
Not on a suit of armor.
No.
The cod piece.
I can't think of anything worse than going anywhere in a suit of armor. Let alone
What about
to
to
What about
battle?
to battle? Yeah.
I feel like that's
battle.
a fair point.
I mean, yeah. Maybe not in this day and age.
Wait, fuck it. In this
You've
day and age.
obviously not been to download it.
No, never been to Hastings.
William Wallace went to battle in a kilt, so
He did.
Yeah, and he was pretty good at it, according to
he was
Mel Gibson.
brilliant.
Yeah, Mel Gibson says that they fucked that shit up. So fair.
Yeah. Big
Lads,
up Mel.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fantastic episode. I'm speaking for you here. I've had a really good
I've hated
fucking
it,
time.
but thank you.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having us.
Thank you guys.
Really, really enjoyed it. It's a great format.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really,
loved
really
it.
good.
I can't wait to listen to it, even though I've lived it.
Well, it's a long one as well. You guys have been. We've taken a lot of your time, so sorry about that.
Ah,
Thank
don't
you
be
very
silly.
much.
It's all good, mate. It stops me going out.
Have we gone for longest out of everyone so far?
You have officially. You are.
Yes.
You are.
So, you hear that, Tom?
That's it. We've got the stamina.
And Anthony, you hear that?
Or Anthony,
That's fair.
whoever you are.
Have you got
Anthony.
anything that you want to? Anthony. Have you got anything you want to plug? Well, I'm sure you do. Is there stuff that you want to maybe just tell the whole audience to get on board with, to watch, to get involved with anything?
God, I don't know. Like all my friends just do this with me, so I don't have much to plug.
Check out the channel, guys. That's,
Have you heard of someone called TPD TV?
if you like what you've heard for this 2 hours, which if you've listened this far, you probably have, then check out the channel. It's all right. It's our life's work, and we're very proud of it. And we have a podcast as well, but it's nowhere near as well run as this one.
Oh, definitely not.
If you want a drop in quality, then check out our pod as well. You'll see it on the channel.
That's very kind to say. Thank you.
Yeah, and we absolutely will
We
check it
appreciate
out.
that.
Guys, we love you so much
Yeah.
already.
Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Thanks
you
for having
guys.
us. Hopefully we
Absolutely loved
can. Sorry, we just
We're
both.
just
both
doing
like
it again.
Hopefully we can have a pint at some point. I'm sure we'll cross paths IRL.
Definitely when you come up to watch my gig in Key with Avenge and Orville.
100%.
In fact, I'd like to plug Orville Peck actually.
You've done that enough, mate. It's fucking sponsored by Orville Peck. This.
He's
Lads,
so good.
thank you so much. I'm gonna. Yeah. Well in. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you guys.
You guys have a great rest of your Friday night.
You too, guys.